welcome back to yet another chill stream. So, tonight I kinda actually had something I wanted to do for the chill stream. So, nothing special, specifically, I wanted to bring up something, because I do this every time I record, and I just want to bring it up. Oh, also, if you see me pouring something, I'm not a heathen and don't drink from a 2 liter, but I don't have any cups around, so I'm just using a plastic bottle, so I'll be actually probably pouring this a couple times. I probably should go get a water before I drink this, because like I said, I'm worrying about that health thing, but I'll be fine. It's just one soda tonight, and I'll probably be fine. If I ever make it like a video being like, oh my god, I'm like suffering intensely because I've been drinking too much soda, it'll be fine. Like I'm not. I also got some Cheez-Its down there. I'll be snacking probably throughout the stream. So I'm gonna be starting this by talking about something that, again, I do this every video. I say this every video. Some people question it. In fact, some people have been quite rude about it, but then again, some people don't know why. And this mysterious thing is why my YouTube name and Twitch name and Xbox name and literally every account I have and own is Jack Attack MLP. Well, first off, Jack Attack rhymes, so there's the answer. But the reason the MLP was added is because, well, and yeah, this is embarrassing to admit at this point, because how many years it's been, but I used to be what is called a brony. If you don't know what a brony is, it's something fucking horrendous. However, at the time, I just started middle school, so I was not, like, well, one, this the kind of time, about the point in time in your life you do whenever you, honestly, you're pretty awkward. Like, you make a lot of mistakes you regret in middle school. So, there's one. Now, I don't really regret what I did, because all I actively did was, by the way, okay, let me give a definition first before I continue. A brony is someone who watched specifically the Generation 4 series of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Now, I know that is an incredibly stupid thing. Now, I'd like to point out, I never really had cable growing up a lot. I had it for 3 of my, like, 18 years. I openly had access to cable, and that was not back-to-back ever. So the things to watch on TV were pretty. Whenever I did have it, were, and also there was one of those, like at least 5 of those months, the channels were very limited. That does not mean I actively watched it on cable. I'm just saying, like, I did not have a lot of television show options, so I'd kind of just watch what was on. One of the channels I did have though was called the Hub, which the Hub actually actively played one Transformers, or a type of Transformer show, two an R.L. Stine show, I think it was The Haunting Hour, and three My Little Pony Friendship was Magic. So I did tune into that then, which got me liking it to watch it, and then I figured out through a friend at school that that was apparently a thing called bronies. So yes, I considered myself one because it just felt cool to be part of something. So, but no, I didn't actively do what's considered to be the weird shit about bronies. It's the same reason people don't really like furries. I'm not a furry. I don't actually hate furries, but at the same time, I think people should just keep to themselves if they're doing something. I was in middle school. I was not actively like some of the things that some of the actual bronies have done like are really fucking weird, and I'm not a part of that at all. I never have been. I never was. When I actually did watch the show, I stopped right after I started high school, like right when after I started high school, because genuinely I was like, oh wait, I'm actively getting mocked for this. Maybe I should knock it off. Not like no, I'm not like I didn't just give in because people were just mocking me, but at the same time I'm like, okay, maybe this isn't a normal thing to do. So I just actively kind of just stopped. I don't even remember finishing the entire series. In fact, actually, I think I remember exactly when I stopped. I stopped watching it for a little bit, and then I went back for one time when the movie came out. There was a movie that came out that was like live action. I'm not talking, or not live action. It was a different animation style, and I think there was a singer, and I think it was Sia specifically. I've literally only heard one of her songs. That's just I remember she was in it, and that's the only other time I ever went back. There was also a tabletop role playing game I wanted to try, and I picked up a box set, like the equivalent of a Dungeon Master's guide, starting player's guide handbook for D&D. Actually, no, it's just the Dungeon Master's guide in D&D equivalently, but it's in a box styled like the what's it called? The starting kit you can get with the green dragon on the front. Anyways, I got dice from that, and I kind of lost everything else. And I mentioned another time that everything I consider stolen, I just ended up losing in a move, basically. Yeah, I ended up losing it there and couldn't find everything. I do still have the dice, though. They're my first sets of dice ever, and they don't have a D100, which is just like a D10, but with the zeros and stuff. So that was actually, and it didn't come with one. That is my first set of dice, and I still have it. I'm so happy that I still have that. But anyways, so people wanted to ask, and always ask me, why is the MLP in your name still? One, I don't want to change it on every account. I'm too lazy to. And two, it's just a neat little reminder, you know? I don't actively just want to give in to everyone else's fucking demands because everyone's just like, oh, that's stupid, you're gay. And I'm like, I'm not actively gay. I don't dislike gay people, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not. Did I say actively? Like, I've never been, and I'm probably not going to be ever. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to those people who are. I'm just saying I'm not. So I actually just wanted to, like, there's a reason I leave it in. I don't like adapting to other people just because that's what they want me to do. I've never been big about that. That's how you make me mad quick. Just be like, I think you should do this, and like not lay off. That's like a major tick up for me. But I'm not trying to actively be like argumentative with people. Like that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying like let people enjoy things, even if it's just something small. Like I said, I just tune into a show occasionally. A friend at school told me about this, so I included it in the name. Nowadays, if I just don't want to be like, if I tell someone's a troll, I'll just lie, and this is the lie I use every time. So everyone remembers the good old like 20 or 10s through 2014, maybe up to 2016, I think it was, of like the MLG phase of the internet and memes and stuff. So whenever, and that meant Major League Gamer, I believe. I know it meant Major League something. I think it was Major League Gamer. Just like how Major MLB means Major League Baseball, I believe, right? Anyways, so if someone ever brings it up and I can tell that's just going to be a fucking hassle, I just say it's Major League Player instead. So if you ever hear me say that, I'm just trying to avoid like bringing that up. But that's why it's in my name. I don't know if I've ever brought this up on a video before, but that is actively why my name, my username on everything says JackTackMLP. Yeah, and also my profile picture on everything is a changeling for My Little Pony. However, I just never bring that up. There's an old video you can look back somewhere on my channel. I don't know where it is, but that'll be the thumbnail, and it's me saying that someone, because I had a regular changeling, just literally screen capped from the show before that. Someone had drawn, or someone randomly found my YouTube channel or Twitter or something. They added me on Twitter, I think it did it, and they just drew it for me out of nowhere. It just was like, here you go, I drew this for you, and I was super fucking excited. I don't remember everything I said in the video, and I'm still super thankful for it. But you can even find their plug in that video, but that is still there, and it's just like the picture itself is like still like you might not really know if you don't know what it is. So I mean, I just have it everywhere, and I've never felt the need to change it. It's a really nice picture, and I like it. The point is, that's why it's there. No one's asked recently, but I just thought, hey, I said the intro. I was like, I don't practice a lot before I stream, but I like try and make sure I'm being quiet enough. Like I can tell I'm already being a little bit loud tonight, and it's already 12 at night, or it's already midnight. And again, I don't live alone, so I'm trying to make sure I at least stay quiet. And I don't have a door to my room, and I don't want to wake anyone up. So I was I was like practicing in my head, like, what do I want to talk about today in the stream? And I was like, okay, well, let's start. Let's just act like I'm streaming now. Oh, hey guys, what's up? It's JackTackMLP, and I was like, wait a minute, that is my name, but why is that my name? Some people don't know. Yeah, it is what you think, but it's also not exactly what you think. Like I didn't actively like, I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up. That's all. It's just good to be able to say these things because like I just couldn't. I wanted to get that out there, and but now that I'm done with that, I actually don't know what else because I kind of just started the second I just was like, hey, I want to talk about that. So now I'm just. Oh shit, that didn't solve anything. If the hair's messed up, I'm trying to. I combed it before this, so it looked like I just had a haircut. So I was like, uh-oh. Okay, I just want to make sure like it doesn't look like that's just the headphones, like, and I look bald or something. I definitely have hair. I'm very proud of my hair. Very proud of my hair. The length it is too. I do need to get it. Everyone's saying I need to trim it. I think this is a good length for it. It's not too bad of a hassle. If it is, I just wear a sock cap on, and then I'm happy. I'm just a little beanie, and I just wear that, and I'm happy. I don't have to worry about it. It keeps it out of my eyes, but or headphones like this. Like I'm happy with this length. I don't want it to get any longer though. A little longer, and it does start to get annoying in the eyes and stuff. Also, I don't like it, cutting it when it's cold out, because then I just get like really just shivery and just cold because there's no warmth there. And then also, I don't like keeping it this long in summertime because black hair attracts heat, which makes me just super warm. And I already wear like black clothing majority of the time, or like darker clothing, so it just captures all the heat at once, and I just, ugh. But yeah, that's usually like how I did. It got really bad because at the start of that pandemic that happened, obviously everyone knows about the pandemic. Why am I saying it vaguely? Like it was just something that happened. It was a fucking huge thing. But I got my haircut then. It was literally the active week everything was shutting down. Like the hairdresser place. I was like the last customer they had before they shut down for a bit. And they were making that very clear. I mean, they weren't being rude about it, but they were being like, "Yeah, I think you might be like the last one. We're thinking about shutting down soon, And so I got it there, and then I didn't throughout that entire pandemic. Just did not get a haircut, and it got like, again, I'm not trying to actively promote my Instagram because that creep that was on there a couple days ago, he wasn't a creep, but like at the same time, I shouldn't be disrespectful, but at the same time, don't do what he did. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I think it's live stream number 2 on my YouTube channel, or chill stream number 2. But anyways, as I was saying though, there's a picture I did where I literally took a picture of me in the mirror, no shaved mustache, a little bit of stubble here because I even have that right now, but my camera's too poor quality to pick it up because my laptop camera. Hair super long, and I'm sitting there just my iPhone, just look in the mirror, not even smiling or anything. Like I wasn't trying to like actually like, like cheese. I was just trying to show what I looked like. And if you swipe it, it immediately goes to me with short hair, and I got a lot of compliments for that. I was excited. It really boosted my confidence, I guess. But because I do pride myself on my looks a little bit, but I ignore like the negative comments towards it. I like the good ones. I ignore the bad ones because I'm happy with how I look at the end of the day. It's just I notice I actively get more comments with shorter hair. However, Misty preferably likes it longer, and I kind of don't disagree with her. I do like the look of it, and I'm like, it's not like I'm trying to impress anyone, though. That's the thing. I'm not actively out to impress anyone. I'm just not interested. Like, I'm not trying to actively impress anyone else besides literally my girlfriend. I'm not even trying to impress her either. It's kind of just like I do it anyways, like passively. I like to think it's like that. I don't know. That kind of sounds weird, kind of saying it like that, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm not. It's like if we're going on like out a date or something, then I do it. But like, I mean, like, actually, just you know what I'm trying to say. I think what I'm saying is understandable. I'm just not. I'm not making it better at all. You know. But yeah. Hmm. So I ended up getting a new costume because back to Trove because all these streams I'm playing Trove in the background. I ended up getting a new costume for the pirate captain to wear. I've been trying to look towards the computer monitor more enough while during these streams, but I'm also just jumping around my club world for 30 minutes in Trove, and that's not accomplishing anything. So I'm gonna try to like actually play Trove while talking. So if I don't look towards the computer enough, I'll see the chat if anything happens. But other than that, I'm just wanting to make sure I see everything that, or actually pay attention to Trove a little bit too. So, where was I going with this though? Shit, I forgot. Oh yeah. So there's these things called adventuring lockboxes. So I opened one, or I've been opening a couple every now and then, and I got multiple costumes. I got one for Fae Trickster, I believe. I got one for what was the first one I got? Tomb Raiser. That was the first one I got. Then I got one for Fae Trickster, I think, and then I got one for Pirate Captain, and that's incredibly amazing. Also, it wasn't tradable. I thought they were sellable on the market, but apparently they're not. But apparently they are. I don't know. But anyways, I got the one for the Pirate Captain finally. Well, actually, not finally. I wasn't looking for it. I've been actually wearing the same Pirate Captain skin for like 2 years, and it's the one from Despoiled Divinity. That's what it's called. I could never remember it. I always just say Shadow Tower costume. If you ever say that, that's what I'm referring to. So I actively was wearing that for like 2 years, and I got this new one that's like an ice themed one. I actually really like it. Again, I'd pull it up on stream if I could, but you can just Google it if you're really interested. It's called it's called Captain Cold. So that's pretty on the nose, but you can just Google that if you want to see what it looks like. Just search Trove Captain Cold pirate costume for Pirate Captain, and then there you go, or word it however you want. I don't know, but I think it looks kind of neat. I'm gonna use it for a bit because I mean I couldn't sell it if I wanted to. I was thinking about it to make more flux, but I think it was neat. It's a really cool costume. It's got some neat things about it. It even changes the cannons and stuff. Also, I learned, I don't know if I mentioned this in the previous stream, the Despoiled Divinity Dino Tamer costume doesn't change the dinos, but I've been told the other costumes do change the dinos, and that pisses me off because the Despoiled Divinity costumes change for everything except for a Dino Tamer, apparently. So that's why I'm actively trying to find a new Dino Tamer costume, and there's only, I think I did mention this part, there's only one I'm interested in. However, it's in like a $40 to $20 pack, I don't remember, but I have to pay real money for it. I can't just grind up flux for it, but it's a Doctor Who reference, and I can't get it unless I pay money for it. I'm not going to do that, obviously. There's one more I can try to get that's at the Neon City, where I can build like a cybernetic one, except it's more of like orange and blue than like gray and blue, like, or gray, blue, or red, or whatever colors a cyborg you think would be. But it's more like colors of wires and stuff, or like resistors and stuff. I think is usually like stuff on circuit boards and stuff, you know, and in machinery. and that's the colors of him, and I'm like, I'm in it. Like I actively think that's cool. I keep saying actively. I think it's cool, but I'm not big on it. But at the same time, it's better than one that doesn't change anything. Watch me get the other one. I'm thinking about grinding up, and it doesn't change anything either. But still, also the two costumes that are in the shop right now, neither of them have headpieces, and I like costumes that have headpieces. That's why I'm using the Captain Cold one right now. Also, I just like how the ice is actually see-through for the body, and I think that's really neat. Again, if I sound weird, I'm just trying to stay quiet, and also, I think my sinuses are kicking in. I'm not sick again, but like you might hear me sniffling a little bit. Um, nothing. I'm not nothing bad. Like I mean, my throat's a little dry. Other than that, I'm probably good. Like it's been like this for a few days, so like it's not anything actively bad. Otherwise, it would have gotten way worse. I said actively again. God damn it. I'm just trying to say more of my sentences to drag them out because I'm trying to just make my sentences longer so I don't have to stop and just think about a new topic because I'm panicking. So, okay, I have something I was considering. I was considering making a topic of the week. However, that's going to have to be something whenever I get more viewers that actively talk in chat in, because if I just get like 2 people that show up, I'm going to be out of things to talk about very quickly. But, or topic of the day, maybe, not topic of the week. I'll be like, okay, guys, here's the topic of the, or maybe it's topic of the week once it launches and I get a lot of people in, you know? But at first, I'm thinking about starting this topic of the day, you know, like what to talk about. Like, join in, give your opinion on it, I'll talk to you about it, you know, if any of you are interested in that. Please say something about that because I would love to try something like that. I want to make this more interactive rather than me just going off about something. I'm not going off about like in a negative way. Something else I want to bring up because, well, one, I don't want to get banned. Again, I just really don't like the person, but at the same time, I should not be actively like calling someone out. Like I'm talking about that person in one of the streams. I don't remember which one, but I was actively saying like, you know what? I said I was in trouble in like 5th grade because I called them a fat cow on the bus. I want to give reasons to why I did that. I probably still, I don't really haven't changed my opinion on that. No one's gonna be able to really change my opinion on it. But actively, at the end of the day, I know they bullied some people. They really hurt some people's feelings, like different people, like a few different people. They just were a generally rude person. They were really annoying to some people, and not in like, and they were annoying because they were rude, not just like they had like times they were just like too chatty or something or anything. But they were just actively rude to a lot of people, and I called them out on it, and yeah, you know, I paid the price even though it wasn't on school property at all, so I kind of called 100% bullshit. I just wasn't argumentative at the time. But, anyways, point is, please don't ban me. I'm just gonna be real with you. Like, I will apologize, but not to them. But I mean, like, actively, I didn't give a name. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna be that disrespectful. I'm not gonna go actively saying who they are. You know, like, I'm not looking to straight up like call them out specifically. I'm just saying like I just really feel like that person when I did it deserved like not during the stream. I mean when I did it to them, you know, off school property, which I got in trouble for at school. And I'm not saying like I was standing right next to school. We were actively walking to our own houses. Actually, I think we were walking from our houses to the bus stop. It was before school, so we were walking from our houses to the bus stop. So like I get it, but there's so much shit that she did was worse that was never reported. So it's like it's more of like you can dish it out, but you can't take it. Not trying to be like argumentative about it. Like, I'm not trying to say that's the terminology I want to use, but I actively cannot think of something better to like actively relay what I'm trying to say here. So I do want to say, please don't ban me. One, I'm not actively saying who it is, and I would never do that. And I know for a fact they're never going to see any of these videos. So the reason I'm comfortable doing it, not because I'm a coward, but because straight up, hell, I don't care. I'll say it again to them if I ever see them. Like, I actively don't like them. Like, I'm not actually going to walk up to them and say, I keep saying actively. I'm not going to walk up to them and just be like, hey, I fucking hate you. Like, I just mean, like, if they ever come up to me and, like, act all friendly, I'm be like, look, I have nothing to say to you, you know? But again, I do want to say here, maybe I shouldn't be saying that on stream. That's not something I should be trying to actively make me look like. I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm trying to make myself look better, but that's not something I should be encouraging others to do. That's not something. When you stream, I feel like whether or not it's a small streamer or a big streamer, you do have, I'm not saying you have sway over people, but at the same time, people are coming to listen. Like, if you're still listening to this for some reason, you're actively here. You know what I mean? I should not be telling people that they should actively going out and like saying hurtful things about people, even if they don't, even if they will never know about it, or if like you really feel like you were right. You should not do that, and I do feel kind of bad for doing it. Don't feel bad that I did back then, but I feel bad I've been actively bringing it up again. And still actively egging it on. I feel. So please don't do that. I want to say it here. Just don't do that. I'm not gonna bring it up anymore either. I just don't want to set a bad example. I don't want to like. Okay, this is that kind of thing where I'm just gonna shut up because I don't feel like I'm helping anymore by trying to like say what I mean anymore. But at the same time, I feel like I've relayed enough of what I'm trying to say. I'm just not really good at putting into words a lot of things. But yeah, that's that. So I did want to bring that up. I was thinking about that before the stream, and I'm like, maybe I was a little bit careless on what I was saying. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so I figured out, since I'm not actively chasing Flux anymore like I was the other, weeks I was grinding, I've been selling 500 for 50k just casually, and it sells really quick apparently, but which I'm not promoting it either. I'm just casually putting up there and waiting for people to buy it. So that's what I'm doing in the background. I'm not chasing after it, but I'm noticing that's really easy to do while I'm I almost said actively again, while I'm streaming and just talking to y'all. It's just easy to do. Excuse me. Also, about to sneeze. Bless me, I guess. Damn, God. Fucked up my headphones in my hair. Sorry about that. I probably should have muted before doing that, or at least like blocked my camera or something. I'm sorry. But God, I'm not sick again. I'll tell you what happened. My mother turned off the thermostat in the middle of the night, so it was as cold as it was outside than it was inside. And yes, it got like really fucking low. So I ended up getting sick over that, and I didn't know how to turn on the thermostat again. So I actively had to. I'm not trying to say actively, but I was having to sit there for like a good 5 minutes messing with it, to where I just literally got her up and said, "Fix this, please. I'm freezing," and it just sat on the vent with the blanket for like 10 minutes, or however long it took. I cracked it up like pretty high. I cracked it like 10 degrees extra higher than it was at least. And then just sat there for a minute while it was like doing it, going up. Which that helped immediately, but it still was like, I still am paying for it now, even though I didn't do anything in the first fucking place to get it done. I just heard a really weird noise. Hold on. I'll be right back. For those of you on stream, I'm back in the room. I'm just making sure my door's locked. There we go. By door, I mean front door. You forget I have a front door into my room. Like, to the house, front door. Okay, I don't know how much of that was heard. I'm back. So, I don't know what I heard, but it sounded like, I don't know, like the most I can compare it to is like a car, not really a car alarm going off, but it also sounded like it was an animal or something making the noise. I know my uncle watches videos occasionally of like people hunting, so it could have been something like that, but it was weird, and I thought I heard a door open or shut or something. I was really confused, so I just wanted to go and look. Everything's good. I was just like really, really confused. That's never happened. It's fine. Back to the grind. Wait, did my marketplace stuff sell? No, it didn't. Not yet. It's kind of late. Never really sells this late that quick. But hey, once in a blue moon. And I do have something I will buy with all this new flux. I'm probably gonna buy the might have been my fridge. The fridge has been making weird noise recently. But anyways, I'm gonna buy either a bard costume, which is a jester outfit, or maybe a mad scientist outfit for the pirate captain. I've also been wanting to dabble in that too. I wanted that one when I first started the game, but then I was like, nah, I already got the Disposal Divinity one. But now I know how to treat myself. I can treat myself. But then the other one is I might try a Dino Tamer costume. I'm not really hyped for them. That'll be the last on the list. However, you know what? I like to live dangerously. I'm gonna go ahead. I have 170,000 flux right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the Treasure Isles. Some of you may, if you played Trove, you know where I'm going with this, but obviously, guarantee you 99.9% of my audience, who, if anyone watches this, has not played Trove. The rarest mount in the game that goes for 74 million flux you can get out of a chest that takes, I think it's 10k flux for one chest. So I can get a couple here. So I'm gonna go do that actually. Instead of doing what I'm doing, I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna use it. I can do this now because I can actually make this back. I said actively. I can make this back very easily. It's weird. I'm saying that the more stuffy my nose gets. That's when I say it more. I don't know why. Because my nose is getting a little bit stuffy. I had to blow my nose while I was in there trying to hear that noise. But anyways, it also kind of sounded like the psycho noise, like that nah 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 nah. You know, the knife thing. I was like, like double checking real quick, but that's kind of like what I'd compare it to. But anyways, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try this out. No, I'm probably not gonna get it, but if I do, I will actively show everyone. I said actively again. There might be something wrong with me. I might have had an aneurysm or something because I'm saying it a lot. I almost said actively saying it a lot right there, but I'm saying it a lot, and that's gonna get annoying eventually. It's really, I feel like it's worse whenever I don't notice I'm saying the same word over and over and over and over again. If any of you have ever caught me doing that and I didn't call it out, leave a comment below. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitch and seeing it, I don't know. I mean, I don't usually have a lot of recurring viewers, but if you see me doing it, let me know. I just gotta find the boat that's. I found it immediately after I said that. Okay, nice. So let's there's two of them. All right, I'm gonna blow all the flux on it, all of it, because even if I get the mount, it's 24 million, you know, compared to 100,000. So let's blow all of my flux on getting to these chests. Okay, can't go back now. I have 17 of them. All right. Oh. Nope, didn't get anything. So one of them gave me 5 of them though. That's a really good deal, by the way. If like, so for example, I told you how much they are. They're about they're 10k per box, or they're 9,999 each, but that's basically 10k. So anyways, there's a chance they can drop you 5 extra ones, which that's a real. I feel like that's a great deal. It's just 50k, or the equivalent of 50k for 1k, or actually 60k technically. Well, no, it's 50k because you're using 1 to buy or get 5, so that would be 50k. I don't know. Math is not my strongest subject. But anyways, I'm not dumb though. Oh, hey. Hold on, I'm turning back around. I got back on my boat. But then someone bought my Primordial Flame. Like I said, it happens at night. Occasionally now. I should have done bulk like this at the beginning, but hey, it's fine. Hey, we had a long, nice journey and we got there, didn't we? So, yeah. Alright, let's try the second ship this time. That first ship screwed me. Out of 170 million, no, million, thousand. God, if someone comes up here for this 170 million, that'd be insane. Excuse me. Alright, let's see what we get. I get 5 boxes. Probably nothing. They keep giving me fragments of Wonder, but let's see. Yeah, like I said, just Fragments of Wonder. It's fine. But I think I'm over halfway on, if I do 100 of them, I get a guaranteed rare item. So I'm actively trying to fill up that bar all the time. Said actively again. Got a little bit of hair sticking up there. Someone needs to go through here, count how many times I've said the word actively, including there. Just put a little timer down here. Or not a timer, a little counter, like right here. Like just right here. Or here. Or even here. Or guess what? Even here. Just somewhere. And just do that. That would be hilarious, I feel. But then again, no one has. I mean, I could do it, but no one. I don't even have that much time and dedication to anything like that. So, that'd be neat. So, I don't know. Now I got punched by a crab. But yeah, there's a reason it's 24 million flux. It's just so hard to get. Apparently, I knew this dude. Now it's the same thing as saying like your dad works for Sega or something like that, or Microsoft. I think it's the old thing like my dad works for Microsoft, or my dad's Bill Gates or something like that. But, Jesus. Anyways, not sponsored. I just want to point that out. But he mentioned I used to be friends with him. I still am kinda. Like I haven't talked to him in years, but he was a really cool guy. I think his name was Brian, and we met, and I was in his club in here, and he said he got it. It was called Gondo. That's the name of the creature that, or the mount we're talking about. It's a bird that whenever you walk, it'll place blocks under you, even if there's nothing under you. It's like really cool, and that's why it's so expensive too. It's like one of the four birds of paradise, I believe there are. There are other ones that have the same like model and texture and do similar things, but he's like the main one. But as I was saying though, he says he got it when it was early on, but he sold it for way too little by accident, not knowing what it was. And that is a believable story, and he still kept it going for years. Like he never went back on it. Like either that's just pure dedication, but like I genuinely think he did, and I feel bad for him, you know. But then again, I have a friend who's also named Jackson. But anyways, I just wanted to make that. I thought that was really interesting. But we always for we always thought that was neat in school. But ice dragon egg fragment. Ooh, nice. I'm gonna scrap it. Don't got room for that in my chest. Anyways, he told me for years that he was not born in America, but he was born in Australia while his parents were on a trip down there. Now, of course, I found out otherwise. God damn it, what's my hair doing? Okay, but anyways, he told me he was born in Australia while his parents were on a trip down there, and I believed him. I genuinely believed he was born in the land down under. He even had a fucking didgeridoo. I'm pretty sure those originate from Australia. If not, I probably just offended a lot of Australians. But straight up, he gave a lot of evidence. Or enough for middle school me to believe. Like early middle school me to believe. I guess I was just a dumbass early middle school. Ugh. Anyways, only during middle school. That changed quickly, didn't it, guys? Anyways, back to the actual game of, playing Trove and focusing on that. I'm not a dumbass. I mean, I'm not smart sometimes, but I mean, like, I'm not. I know what I'm doing. It's fine. We're good. But anyways, he finally told me when I brought it up years later. He was like, "What are you talking about?" Oh wait, yeah. Oh yeah, that was a lie. I'm like, what? What? And he was like, "Yeah." He just shattered my entire like reality right there. I was like, "No, you're from Australia, or you were born in Australia. Like you're an American citizen, but you were apparently." He was like, "No, I just made up that lie." Isaac also did that one time for years, or no, for the entirety of freshman year until like the end of it. He said he was colorblind. He's not colorblind. I met someone who's colorblind. He's not. I don't remember how we got there, but I think I brought it up, and he also was just like, after a while, he was just like, I'm not actually colorblind. Or I think he was just faking it so bad I caught him at that point, because like I said, I know people who are colorblind. And then he just was like, yeah, I'm not colorblind. Which, I don't know. Mixed feelings on that, because like, that's rude to someone who actually is. I'm not, but that could be rude to someone who is. And now I'm just pissy because I didn't know it, or didn't figure it out quicker. But anyways, but yeah, I'm not gullible, but at the same time, like when someone, okay, not the Australia one. I didn't feel bad he was from Australia, but when someone says, "Oh, I'm colorblind. I have a genuine disability," I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry you have that. I'm very sorry to hear about that." Like I'm there. I just feel like that's weird for me. Oh no, it's sliding back. I was about to say it's just weird being on the complete left the entire time. I'm still a little bit on the left, but it's fine. Anyways, I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Like colorblind isn't a disability, is it?" I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. It's bad if it is or isn't. I'm just saying, is it classified as one? If there's something that's actively something that's hindering you from things, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. That's not terrible, but it's also like that's not a good thing. I mean, usually being colorblind is not a good thing. It's interesting and unique occasionally, but it's like, I mean, okay, look at me in the eyes. Would you rather be colorblind or would you rather not be colorblind? Not to trash colorblind people. I guarantee you didn't choose to not be to be colorblind. We didn't choose not to be colorblind. In fact, I'm pretty sure isn't there a statistic that everyone just sees color differently anyways? Like for example, if I'm looking at purple right now and you're looking at purple, your purple could be different from my purple and we have no way of knowing. Like I know that. Like I know that to be true at least. Like there's not, you know what I mean? Like it's not like a choice we all make. It's just something of how we all just operate, and I thought that was kind of neat. The Australian one that was super gullible for, I guess, definitely. Fleet, if you're watching this, that's his name. Probably shouldn't say full names on stream, but like, again, who's really gonna watch this at the end of the day? But if you do see this, I thought you were my Australian homie, man. I'm just kidding, but for real though, it was really fun when you brought that didgeridoo. You'd be like middle class, just like warrant. I had a friend who also used to bring a slide whistle into class. He'd just be sitting in the middle of class, and we'd just be like, ooh, and then he'd just look around, all sketched out. I don't talk to him anymore. I think he dropped out of high school. Not for a reason either. I think he just dropped out. But anyways, I'm not gonna go into detail about him. I will say he had a YouTube channel, and I remember one of my main goals whenever I made that YouTube channel. He had like 110 subscribers. My main goal was to pass him on that. That was like an active goal I set for myself, not to be not to be a mean or just to actively pass him. But I was like, I definitely want to pass him. If he can do it, I definitely can. Not to be rude to him. I was like, I'm gonna pass him. That's my goal. That's my main goal. And I did. And now I'm triple that. And I was like, yes. And I'm still happy about it today. Obviously, if I'm still saying it. And that number actually keeps going up like every 3 days. Like I get a new sub. And again, they're not watching the new videos. There's an older video. I need to go and check what videos have been viewed the most in the past like month. Because then I can just make another one of those. Unless it's like a mod review of a specific mod, and that's the only reason they keep clicking on it. Because I made one mod review. No, I made two. I made a mod review for the Doom items mod for Azor Doom, I believe is the guy's name. Great developer from what I see. He actively is really, I said actively again, but he's really passionate about the products he makes, I'm pretty sure. Because I mean, I've been to like his Discord and stuff, and he's commented on a lot of the videos I did, or the 2 videos I did, because I did 3. I did the first one, which is my apparently top most viewed video of all time, because he also put it on the mods page, and I was so thankful for that. I want to do another review of his, not because he just gave me like credit and clout by doing that. I mean, I don't know if he gave me clout, but he gave me like credit for doing that and actually put it up there too. But not only because of that, but actively he makes good mods. He puts a lot of time and effort into it, models it well, puts a lot of development into it, and he's a really good developer. Point is, I made 2 more after that. They did pretty well too, but that main one just blew the fuck up. And I did a couple more mod reviews after that, in case you didn't notice. After that, if you go back and you'll see I did a couple more after that. Not because I was chasing views, but it also felt a little good. I was like, that feels good, but also I just like doing the mod reviews. And it was like, oh shit, that works, you know, and I can do that easily. I can just put on Minecraft, short edit it, you know, and it worked really well. What else is there? But yeah, if it's that still, I probably can't. It's been a long time since I've even played PC Minecraft. The last time I did, it wasn't even Java. It was Bedrock because my gold subscription ran out and my friend started a new realm, and I was really sad. I was like, oh, no, like on my Xbox, I couldn't renew it till like midnight, so I had to wait like 6 hours. So I was like, I can't join till later. I'm sorry, guys. But then I was like, wait a minute, I have Bedrock with the same account, so I just loaded in there. I was like, yes, and then we just played, and I got my ass blown up by a creeper. It's funny, right? The second I join, and like 2 in-game days have passed, so the second I join, I go and find not only a destroyed nether portal, but I have enough gold to make a full suit of armor. Plus, it was on hard mode, so zombies are dropping up the other pieces. So I just show up with a full gold block. Second day, no one even had iron. I show up with a iron pickaxe, 1, full gold block, full suit of gold armor. It's night. I sit there and like they're in a hole because they're trying to hide from. They had a little bit of a cave going, but they patched it up, and I broke the hole because I was gonna give the server owner the gold block as kind of just a thank you, and plus it was just kind of neat. I felt like it was neat that I had it. I was just like, here you go, I don't need this. I'm gonna go build my actual house now. But her friend opened up the door, right, and I'm sitting there and I throw the gold block down. Or no, I killed the zombie that was out there that they blocked out. They break the block, and then I just was like, I did like the crouch thing, teabagging thing, not because I was trying to like teabag. I was just like, hey, I did it, you know. And then I was about to throw the gold block out, and I didn't have sound on, so I just blow up. A creeper blew up behind me, and apparently that was the most hilarious thing in the fucking world. I mean, I thought it was kind of funny too. I mean, I wasn't like actually like, mad about it, but I thought it was like I was like, oh fuck, I gotta get my stuff back immediately because the armor, and I still have that suit of armor today. Still in my chest. I need to make I need to make like an armor stand for it. I might log in and do that instead of just doing Trove, because I'm doing the adventuring quest. Because now that I mentioned earlier, I did the box for costumes. I'm gonna try and get another costume. Hopefully one I don't have, because I don't think I could sell them for some reason. And then I also need to do like 10 dungeons real quick to get some chaos chests and to fill up my star bar. Progression. Anyways, after I do that, I'm going to switch over there and build an armor stand real quick and make that for that. Wait, then again, I don't want to have it out in the open because I'm afraid someone would steal it. Not in like actively they're trying to steal it. I said actively again. And there too. But, they're not going to, like, no one's out to, like, steal, but I mean, like, someone may see it, like, when they're about to go to the nether and be like, yo, let me yank that. Like, I've had stuff like that disappear before. I'm like, huh, I definitely had some stuff there. I'm not mad about it. Like, I tell everyone everything is available, but I'm like, oh, damn it. So, I don't know. And it's not something worth bringing up. Like, it's nothing major, but still, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't just advertise that I have a shit ton of stuff. But it's fine. That's the one I did the, chicken glider, chicken pun thing. It's really weird. Half the people thought it was kind of funny, or at least meh, and then the other people are just confused. And I'm like, you just don't get it. It's not about the method, it's about the message. And, or just methods in general. It's not about the methods, it's about the message. And I sent a message, alright. I'm a goofy fuck. But anyways, it just a goofy motherfucker. Should I say motherfucker like that? Motherfucker. I probably shouldn't say it like that. It's just weird. Also, I'm not that goofy. More silly than anything. Silly motherfucker. I don't know. I'm all the above. I just like to have fun. I'm trying to make everyone have a good time. Or, not make, but I'm trying to make sure everyone has a good time. If possible. See, I'm doing that while I have people who just joined making, like, full suits of netherite to, you know, just in case an actual server war starts. So I thought that was kind of funny. Because I'm pretty sure originally it was just supposed to be like a prank war, and obviously my thing is definitely falls under that category, but that wasn't relayed well because one of the members, so it was really awkward when there was just no war. After I did the chicken glider thing, not a lot of people got on very often, and still no one has. There's no correlation with that, I don't think, but it's just like, I think after that war just was like, hey, we're not doing a war, everyone was just like, oh, what are we grinding, you know, full suits of netherite? Like, my friend Henry gathered 9 blocks of netherite, like full blocks, and he just was like messing around, just like placing them everywhere and then mining them back up, and we're all just like, okay, bud. I mean, like, I have 1 suit of netherite, 1 pickaxe, 1 sword, and I did actually start mining a little more because I want to. No one in the realm's gonna see this. I have a secret lair. I'm not going to say where, just in case anyone does happen to look. The one person that was partnered up with me, which has still been a secret, but no one's asked, and I'm kind of bummed out no one's asked. The server owner predicted there was an accomplice, though. They didn't know who, and we actively said there wasn't anyone. I said actively again, but we constantly were like, nah, it's just one person, probably. They helped conspire that there could have been a second two, which might give it away if anyone would know, but at the same time, no one's going to be able to guess it. But anyways, there is a secret lair somewhere. And there's just a giant wall with my chicken costume face. I made it out of quartz, amethyst, coal, gold, and redstone. And it's just a giant wall. I was going to replace the eyes of coal, which are 8 blocks of netherite, just to be like doing it, and I had my glider set up there, and then I actually had a working redstone like lift in there as well that I could have flown over, and it's only like 6 blocks big. that I could have used, but no one was on, so there was no point in getting it out. So yeah, I just ran around, egged a couple people's houses on the inside with like 4 chickens per house, because I had a whole double chest full of eggs, and then just got off and sent chicken puns in chat. Would have said them in a call, but at the same time, I feel like it hit just as well how it did go. It worked well. I have to find a T-Rex, which is... There's 2 quests in the daily adventure quest I don't like. That I really, really don't like, and I wish they'd get found a T-Rex, but there's 2 I would wish they would update. Or make it easier. The T-Rex one, I kind of think is okay. I kind of think the one that says fight a T-Rex, you coward's okay, because I think it's just a funny flavor to one of the missions. But what I don't like is there's one, it's the last one I always do. Because I skip over the ones that say collect gem boxes. But it says, get a feather or a scale from one of the guardians running around. So that means don't complete a dungeon, but just kill random enemies. And I don't really know which one specifically it means. Just kill random enemies in the Highlands world, or not the Highlands world, the... What's it called? Forgotten Spires or whatever? Forbidden Spires. I was very close. Point is, it's go there and just kill everything until one drops, and I don't like that. I'm not very big on it, because they're either so spread out, because it's not... I don't think it's every creature you find. You have to find the bigger ones. With the T-Rex one, it's very specific, but the T-Rex is so big that you're gonna see it, but the other ones I just don't like doing. Like, that's the one I feel like takes the most for me to do every day, and I'm not big on it. I never have been. Every time I see it, I just dread doing it. It makes me want to not go through doing all the other ones that I do every day, because I just feel like it's... Oh, I'm an idiot. I forgot to grab the one for the place I mine Primordial Flame, which is where I'm at now, and I found a dungeon that it's collect bleach bones, so you just have to walk over them with your mount and they pick it up. But me being a dumbass, I broke them. I just saw it and immediately went and broke them, but I didn't have the quest active, so there's 3 that I just got that I didn't get to fill up the quest. They're not hard to find. Like I said, they're easier. There's also one for Enchanted Wood, and I don't remember what the other one. I think it's Pixie Dust, so just kill random enemies again, but I don't like that method, so I just find the plant growing around. That one's fine, though, I feel, by comparison. I just really don't like the Forbidden Spires one. I usually call it the Chinese Highlands, because it's very, like... There's some stuff there. Like, I'm not trying to be racist or anything. It's just, like, the culture... It looks pretty cultural to what I think that is. It's either they're Japanese, and I'm just being incredibly insensitive right now, but look up the Forbidden Spires and what the world's based off of. I'm 90% sure it is Chinese culture, I'm pretty sure, or at least inspired by that. Like, there's big dragons everywhere, there's weird foxes, and there's, other stuff, too. I just can't remember what it is. Point is, like, it's one of the two, and I'm not trying to be offensive with saying it, and if it's not that, I'll stop immediately once I'm told otherwise. Like, when I'm told otherwise that it's not what I'm saying, then I'll stop. But I mean, like, and I feel like that's a little rude to, like, racially assume like that, but at the same time, or culturally assume, not racially, but I feel like that's what it is, I think. Hold on. Let's check and see if I'm racist. Racist check. Forbidden Spires Trove. This is not helping. Okay, it's not saying... okay. Ancient heights and restless range of prime world biome filled with eastern-themed landscapes. Okay, that's both. Or not both, but like, that's... You know what I mean? Bam. Okay. These lands are filled with towering mountains with Chinese-inspired architecture and regional layers and dungeons. Okay. Not racist. I mean, I wasn't trying to be racist anyways, but, like, actively proving I'm not racist. Yes. But you know what I mean. That's on the Wikipedia. So I know anyone can edit the Wikipedia, but I'm fine for what I know. I guess I just need to watch how I do that, I guess. You know what I mean? From now on. That's what I'll do. So. I just threw a bomb by accident. And got like 5 blocks from it. Trove is a game where you can build. I never build. I'm not a builder. I don't even say I don't have any blocks in my inventory. I had like 3 cornerstone blocks for a long time, to which I finally, and they were in my chest, to which I just finally deleted them. And then immediately Jack goes, "Hey, do you have any cornerstone blocks?" And I was like, "Nah, bro. I haven't. All mine are where they're supposed to be." I don't even know how I got 3 extra, but I did apparently. So, Yeah, I just act like I never had any. Jack, if you're watching this, you literally asked right after I just scrapped him, or after years of me having him taking up space in my chest, and I was like, you can probably buy them, right? Like, you can buy them off the marketplace, right? They can't be that expensive. No way in hell they're that expensive. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Or he can, I guess. I'm not looking it up right now because I got to finish collecting these bones, and I'm gonna open up a couple of those. I think I have enough for a couple, but I'm gonna try and open up a couple of those adventuring boxes. Time to do the boring one. I will literally only do this one. If I do it, it'll give me enough to get 2 keys instead of just 1. If not, not doing it. I'm just gonna skip it for the day. I don't like doing it. Are there some... You know what? Here, this is a good topic. Are there some optional daily grinds y'all just skip in some games you play? Like I'm doing right now? Because I just had enough to get 1. Okay. Please be a costume. Fuck. Okay, it's just an ally that I'm not going to use at all. Because I'm immediately going to scrap it because I already had him. And he's also completely useless to me because you can't sell him. Or... Yeah, can't be traded. Even though I've seen these things on the market, I think. So I don't know what's up with it. Maybe there's a tradable variant I can get? I don't know. Point is, 50 adventuring when I'm scrapped. I need 500 to do anything, and Okay, time to do math. Okay, so if I do the one here that I don't like doing, I have 90, right? So I have 90, and I went over with just now 50, so I have 100. If I do the one here, that's 200. If I do the one here, that's 300. If I do the one here... Okay, I'll do them. Like I said, I canceled my plan to do my, not item frame. Armor stand. I canceled my plan for that anyways, because, you know, I don't want it to be actively just... Said actively again. I don't want that to just be, promotion, you know? Or not promotion, but just, like, there. Like, I'm not really worried about it. Like, it's not gonna be the end of the world if the armor, like, set goes away. It's just, like, I just don't want it to disappear. I like it. There's one guardian down. I don't know. Let's see how many there are to go, because I don't know. And I don't know what they classify as guardians here, because I see a lot of big creatures. The other day I killed a sheep, and it was a guardian, apparently. Or the game gave me one of the items, so... There's giant terracotta warriors, there's giant dragons, and there's 2 different kinds, I think 3 different types of those. There's a red one, a blue one, and a green one. And I don't know which one to do. Okay, just kill a sheep and got it. So, hey, there we go. Apparently sheep are where to go. Okay, Atlas. Blue's good, do again too. Alright, we're going to the Drown World, where I got the chest before. I mean, like, the one I spent like 170 grand on and got absolutely nothing for. I'm just kidding, I'm not salty about it. I knew that was going to happen. I just wanted to do it because I was bored. We're going to go there, complete 5 dungeons, and then we're going to go to the next place, complete 5 dungeons, and then we're going to go to the next place and complete 5 dungeons. And then I'm done. Because then I can open up another box, probably get another ally that only gives 50, and get nothing out of it. Woot woot. God, I say woot woot occasionally, and I'm like, I need to stop that. Just no. Okay, so I mentioned earlier I'm not a heathen and I don't drink out of 2 liters. However, is it okay to drink out of a 2 liter if it's like there's a little bit left and you're just finishing off the bottle to maybe make room for another one in the fridge, or if you're just trying to get rid of it? Like, I feel like that's okay, right? Does anyone disagree with that? That creature sounded really weird in Trove, otherwise I just heard another really weird noise in the background, but... It's like a weird screeching noise, but I just killed one as it died, so I don't know what would be making that weird screeching noise, but hey, it's fine. Plus all the doors are locked, so... I'm safe. Oh, it was just the creature. Okay, cool. It's a really unnerving noise with these headsets, or this headset on that's noise canceling. Like, only a little bit of the screeching noise gets through, and I'm like, ooh, that's not good. It's starting to make me think if I just heard it earlier. Oh, I can get the Chaos Chest doing this too. I don't know if I already said that, but that's gonna help. Chaos Chest can occasionally drop something good that I might already have. So I don't know. We'll see. Hey Leon, are you the one viewer? Or Leo? Because if so, hi. If not, hello, random viewer. I just wanted to know real quick. I was just like, if you're just zoning out to it, that's fine. I just wanted to know if it was you or not, because I'm just wondering at this point. Because I've consistently had one viewer for about 30 minutes of the 54 now, so I just wanted to know if it was anyone I knew. Not saying I don't want it to be someone I know, but I feel like it's a little, I don't know. I just think it's neat with newer viewers occasionally. Nah, fuck you, Leon. No, I'm kidding. By the way, I said Leon there, not Leo. No problems with Leo. I think. I don't know. Do we have a problem? I don't know. Last time I checked, we don't. It is I. It's you! Not Leon. Knew it. Yeah, I don't think we have a problem. We're good. I knew it was one of you two. I knew it was. But I just wasn't sure which one. I'm thinking about doing another live, or not live stream. I'm thinking about doing another one shot with you on the channel. I just gotta think what I can do with it, though. Maybe a sequel to the one you did. I don't know. Maybe how Mark died instead of just how Troy died. No, I'm kidding. I feel like some stories can be like, okay, I feel like there's some good examples of storytelling, like of with how you know it's gonna end. Like, let me give you an example. Avengers Endgame happens, then they release Black Widow, a movie that takes place before Avengers Endgame, which means absolutely nothing important happens in Black Widow because you already know she's alive in Endgame. Any scene where she's about to potentially die or anything is just, thrown out the window because guess what, But at the same time, I feel like there are some times, like, I don't think I've done, I'm decently good at storytelling, I feel like, through D&D usually. I think I'm good enough to where I could do something like that. It probably won't be that, but I'm still considering doing something else. I just gotta think of something. But please no Mark. Yeah, like I said, I don't think I'm gonna do Mark. He's boring. He died. What a pansy. Anyways, but I'll think of something, or you might be able to do one with someone else. Like I might get Haven. Haven has been pretty absent from a lot of D&D things because they've been working towards things. So I don't know. School, am I right? But I miss school. I was talking with Misty, and me and her genuinely like miss high school. She didn't get. I think I mentioned this in a previous stream, but she didn't get a senior year, like end of a senior year. She's still on spring break because she just coronavirus just hit, and then they let us go for spring break after we did a high school lip dub, and then, which if you don't know what a lip dub is, Google it. And then we just went on infinite spring break, or she did. I'm back, or I went back for my senior year. I'm still pissed. I mean, like, I'm not pissed, but I'm sad that seniors got to go 2 weeks early. Now, it's a good thing because we're out of there. But I miss my friends. I do. I really do miss like seeing my friends daily. Sure, I get to talk to all of them, but it's just, I miss getting to see them every day and just having lunch with them and stuff, Like Tucker and Jack and stuff, and there's a few others, but you know what I mean? Like, the list can go on, is what I'm saying. Some more than others, but at the same time, it's just something I miss. I miss the social interaction and the no social distancing. Like at that point, like all of our like every friend I sat with at that point, like it's like we're gonna if I'm gonna get it from you, I'm gonna get it from you. Like we were all just like close enough where we didn't even have to wear masks practically. Like we acted like everything was normal and it was fun, and it's just now to go to somewhere public, we just gotta organize or to see each other like physically for like in person for like Tucker or Jack or anything, we all gotta like plan a day that's not or either on school so they can watch the local game store. It's right next to the school, or we gotta like pick them up from school or any of them, or we gotta go to their house and stuff. It's like it's cool. That's fun. Like some of that is fun. Like it's incredibly fun, but it doesn't happen as often and naturally as hey, we're just in class together or at lunch together. Which was I just miss it. I don't know. That was the one thing I missed from school was just social interaction. And that could be fixed like go to college or something, but like that's not what I mean. I mean like the specific people. I've never been big on making new friends. Like I always told my mom when I was younger, hey, don't make me ever move schools. Like don't make me have to go to a different school if we ever move around so much because we moved a lot. I was like, look, I'm happy with the friends I have. I don't want that to change. I mean, I knew it could change like naturally just over. There's enough in there to pour in a bottle. I'm not gonna drink that straight out of there, but I always begged my mom, don't make me switch schools. I don't want to have to be long distance terms with certain friends. Like if I would have switched schools between middle school and high school, I definitely would not be with Misty because that's when me and her started dating, but we knew each other through middle school, you know. So just small things like that. So much stuff would have been different, you know. I was really close at one point to going to the same high school as Leon and Ethan. Very close because that's where my nana lived. Was with that general area. I can't give descriptions, and Leo, don't say in chat where they live, obviously, because that's doxing. Don't do that. But yeah, it's just I was just like, yeah, sure. And I didn't know them at the time. I met those guys as I was leaving because I had a friend that went to my high school that actually went to go live, actually straight up with my nana. It was really awkward and weird. I mean, he's cool, he's chill, but it was weird one day. I'm like, he messaged me out of nowhere because I hadn't seen him in months, and he's like, hey, guess where I am right now? And I was like, oh yeah, sure, where, man? Haven't talked to you in a while. Where it hasn't been? He's like, oh, I'm at your nana's. I'm like, what? How do you know her? And I was like, no, I wasn't like mad. I was like, how the hell do you know her? I was curious. I was interested. And then he's like, oh, I live here now. I was like, oh, okay. She was helping him out. I won't go into the story out of respect for him, but yeah, they ended up living together, and she helped him get through high school years. He met Leon and Ethan, and that's how I met both of them through him. And yeah, it was nice. Shout out to when he showed up to a D&D session one time. It was during the first campaign we all played together. All of us played together in, because we did a couple before that, but they weren't anything big. And they were fighting one of the Pillarmen from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I'll just elaborate. I won't elaborate too hard. Just say they were fighting a vampire. He was behind them all, and he's a Dragonborn, right? But he was just a little bit off that day, just a little bit. He's fine, but we still to this day bring up. I use my breath weapon. I think I did that during the stream or during Hindering Spirit stream because Leon used a fireball that hit everyone, but Jindar using his breath weapon. I use my breath weapon. Are you sure about that? You're behind literally every member of the party. I use my breath weapon. It just didn't click until after he did it. That it something got crossed there, but we love him all the same for it. It was just such a good moment. No one got mad, no one died, or Ethan immediately died because, like I said, Pillarman. And then they teleported away by Elobron to never be seen again. But I actively mentioned, hey, actively again, goddammit. I said, hey, you'll have to deal with them again one day. Just not this campaign, so just don't worry about it. That's like when I first introduced the concept of possible multiverses, and then they were like, that's going to be worrying later, and they still haven't met them. Soon. Don't tell them I said that, that's a joke, but you know what I mean. The closest thing I had done was like, there was a single alternate reality version of the world they were in where things just went slightly different. I can tell that story, so we'll talk about campaign 1. That's something they mention a lot, and I'm not like trying to be like Critical Role. They started naming it this kind of stuff, you know, because I went and found out what Critical Role did, and they did like campaign 1, campaign 2, campaign 3. Not trashing Critical Role. I've never seen Critical Role. If I ever do something that's in Critical Role, and I will tell you after the point where I will say on a stream when I had watched Critical Role, if I ever do. I've never seen it. If I've ever done something similar, it is completely by accident or some like they'll call me out on it usually because they've seen it. But why I'm saying this is because they keep mentioning like campaign 1. So let's go back literally to the dawn of me doing that because I want to bring that up sometime because I don't want to leave anyone in the dark. So the dawn of me playing D&D was with my cousin Casey. He was running a campaign between. So wait, hold on. Let me pour some soda. This is a soda moment. Classic cola, off-brand cola. It's fine though. It tastes good. Some of these off-brands taste even better than the original, or just provide a decent, differently enough taste to where it's good, and it'll suffice in its variety. It smells like pencil shavings though. Anyways, back to the actual thing though. Not too bad. I'm wrong. It doesn't exactly taste like, or smell like pencil shavings. But anyways, so my cousin Casey, who I do have an old video with Isaac playing D&D with, where I played Jack Backrack. No, that is not the origin of Jack Backrack. I'm about to tell you the origin of Jack Backrack, who's been mentioned occasionally in the D&D Hindering Spirit streams. For those of you on Twitch who have no idea what I'm talking about, my YouTube channel on Twitch, I live stream, or did, still kind of do occasionally. Used to do it every Saturday with a group. Anyways, back to the conversation at hand. He ran a campaign for for assault, and he was trying to run it for because we had a D&D club at high school. And again, Leon and Ethan did not go to my high school, so they weren't at this. I'll get to names when they come up. So Casey was running something, and the campaign was between Mythology Club and the D&D club, so they had different gods from different mythologies, including D&D gods as well, in the campaign. So we were given quests by the gods to specifically, and now I did a lot of cringy shit. This was freshman year of high school, so I kind of like did a lot of cringy shit, a lot of edgy shit. Now, again, we still had a little bit of fun. We never finished the campaign though, so I brought some of this up before though. I feel like, but I just wanted to go through and give like a full, unedited, like uncut, long ass answer to this. Like I just wanted to bring it up because I have nothing else to talk about. So we start out by going to. I think we were contacted by them, all pulled together, and told, look, we're giving you a certain amount of tasks. The only one I still remember to this day is fight a Kraken. That's the only I remember because that's the one I went home and planned the most about. And I was a trickster cleric, and my whole thing was to heal you. Now I get it. Keep in mind, freshman year of high school, never played D&D before, and I wasn't trying to be edgy, but I thought this was funny. To heal you, deck you in the face because it's touch range, so you'd heal a little bit. Now I didn't do that every time. I just did it like out of combat. I thought it was funny. I didn't realize how often healing during combat would need to be. So I didn't get anywhere with that. But, and I didn't do it all the time. Like, I wasn't just a massive dickhead the entire time. I was just, and also I think I roleplayed him being a drunk. But anyways, the backstory was he was a ship, he was on a pirate ship, where he performed, did entertainment. Then he was just adventuring because he got picked up by the gods like everyone else did. So that happened. He threw daggers. And I remember specifically basing him similar to a not the dickhead personality, but I think it was Yogscast. That's an old YouTube channel. I don't know if it's an old YouTube channel, but it's a YouTube channel where they did D&D. I think it was called the Lightfall campaign. That's the first campaign I actually did watch a little bit. I think I got like 10 episodes in on their live streams that they did when I was trying to learn how to play. And there's a character in there that's a trickster cleric that throws daggers, and he's kind of an asshole. I think his name was Cam Buckland, the character, and I think the joke was Cam Buckland, don't give a fuckland. I think that was the joke. I thought that was funny, so I kind of copied that a little bit. So that was my first character. Didn't get anywhere. The most two remembered things is the plan for the Kraken was to just get dead horse carcasses and 2 barrels of cyanide in a giant syringe. Inject the cyanide into the horse carcasses, because Casey told me that a ship can outrun a Kraken in its speed, or at least stay ahead of it. While the Kraken's following us, throw the horse carcasses over the side of the ship and just kill it through poison damage. So here's the problem with that. What's saying the Kraken's going to eat the horses? I never thought about that. I never thought, hey, will the Kraken eat the horses? I said in a previous stream, I think it was a Minecraft live stream, where I was trying to do the Generation mod, where these guys, when I was younger, I was in the local game store, and they actively like did the math for like a bomb they had to place under a vampire's castle or some sort of castle to blow it up in a right way to actually get their goals done, and they did the math, and it was so cool and so inspiring to me, and I wanted to be just like that with off-the-wall plans like that, precisely calculated at every point. I still do stuff like that, but I do it with more of a thought put into it now. But anyways, so 2 things I remember. 1, we saved a princess that turned out to not be a princess, if you know what I mean. He was a nice guy. Anyways, yeah. But anyways, that's like all I really remember from it. We didn't get very far. Oh, the gods gave us 1 boon. My boon ended up being that I could switch genders at will. I never brought that up on stream, I don't think. But, that just happened to not work during a moment said, quote, princess. So that was awkward. No, nothing happened, I don't think, if I remember correctly. I don't remember. If Casey ever sees this, he can confirm or deny in the comments. I had a blanket stuck on my leg. Oh my god, my leg is so fucking numb. Anyways, as I was saying, though, that was awkward. But that was my first campaign that like we actively did. I DM'd. By the way, I made an entire RPG. I think I might have mentioned this on stream. I made an entire whole ass RPG before knowing what D&D was, and it was based on dice. I think it was only D6s though. But it was called Apocalypse. It was just a Fallout knockoff. I have the document still for it to this day, and that's interesting. I might run that eventually for the whole group. Just be like, look at, oh, and I'm gonna keep all the rules the same. and I didn't know what expansions were and modules were at the time, so I called them DLC until I could figure out what they actually were called, and I never learned. And then I learned what D&D was, and actively played that. But I wrote out an entire system with actual usable rules and items. None of it's refined, but like I might run that for the group one day because there's a one shot I always ran. I even ran it at club one day because I became the DM after Casey. Casey was a senior as I was a freshman, so Casey, or he might have been, no, he might have been a sophomore. Wait, what's right under senior? Is it junior? Okay, if a junior's right after senior or right before senior, then he was that. He was 2 years ahead of me. That's what I think. So after he left, I became the main DM because no one else would do it, and no one else would show up to do it. And I had like 8 people, and that was so annoying, but we'll get there when we get there. Anyways, I think one of the days, though, I ran that, and that was interesting, to say the least. I think Tucker played it once, too, but I don't think he'll remember that. The one-shot's just, hey, there's some bandits outside the city. It's set in New Orleans in a post-apocalyptic future, after nukes, obviously, and it's very Fallout-inspired, but anyways, it's just, hey, there's some bandits in a shack outside town. Go fight them. And then, yeah, that's session 1. And we never really got past that, ever, anytime I ran it. But anyways, and that was before I knew what D&D was, and I made up a lot of good stuff for it. I'll go into that elaboration another time. That's something on the side that's not really D&D related. But anyways, I thought it'd be cool to bring it up again if I brought it up on stream before. So after Casey left, I literally don't remember anything. Oh wait, there were also 2 people. I know I mentioned this on stream before, but there was 2 other people I remember that were part of Casey's group. Isaac went to the club but wasn't part of Casey's group for D&D. He never really was big on D&D, and that's fine. But still, there was Van Pound and Sand Pound. Sam or Sand Pound? Oh, I think it was Sand Pound. They tried seducing Thor. They got the belt off. That's about as far as they got, but they're legendary. Isaiah, in the computer class ASMR videos, the guy playing Among Us and typing on the keyboard in those videos, that's him. He was one of them. I think he was San or Van. I don't remember. Or Sam. I don't remember which one he was, but they were fucking hilarious. Anyways, had to just mention them real quick. They're legends, is what I was trying to say, but I was trying to say legendary as well. So they're just legends. Fucking men right there. The epitome of mankind are those 2 people. I don't even think they were men. Also, I think they were like were-badgers. Like that's what their boon they got from the gods was that. Something like that. But anyways, fucking legends. Anyways, I don't know why they did that, by the way. They did that just to be funny, and it worked. To be funny. I don't remember who else was part of it, but anyways, there was an encounter with Vecna in one of the bars, to which I immediately made it my goal to get all buddy-buddy with Vecna. Didn't know what Vecna was, didn't know who Vecna was at the time. Casey just mentioned they're a trickster god, which I thought kind of lined up with my thing. So I was like, hey, buddy. I remember drinking, like, I was like, what's up? We were at a bar. I started drinking. Casey's like, that is piss. But, like, hawk piss or something like that. Or, like, hag piss or something. Like, no, like some sort of animal that is very not good. Like hag raven, I think. I know that's Skyrim, but it was something like that. And I was like, it's fine, I've had worse. And he's like, no, it will actively kill you if you drink anymore. And I was like, oh, fuck. Okay, I guess I'll stop. So that's all I remember from those campaign, but it was a fun time. Anyways, we never played again really after that. I didn't stop going, but we kind of never happened. So what else happened after that? Okay, so then I DM'd as a joke. The only thing I can remember. Oh, and then I remember also one time I went down to Goblins as Jack Backrack, and I remember. Oh, my friend Blake was there. He was an orc, and he ended up carrying me. I don't remember anything about that though, but I just remember that he did that. Anyways, he carried me as I was like actively down because I wasn't dead, but I was just like being carried along. Or maybe no, I didn't die. I was just unconscious, and they didn't wake me up. I know why, obviously, but anyways, what happened after that? I do remember the one thing I did as a joke. There was a fidget spinner on a tree because that was when they were popular. There was a fidget spinner just chilling on a tree, and someone found it and just added it to their inventory. I'm like, oh, you're actually adding that? No, don't. And they did, and I was like, I was a DM. I was just like, fine, I guess that's a thing now. But it was a joke, and then I had a guy like a goblin ambush. I remember. So the actual campaign they had a legitimate one. Tucker was in it, Misty was in it, along with several other people that I cannot remember. Jack might have been in it for a bit, and Shaman might have been in it for a bit. but it was never consistent. Tucker was literally the only one who consistently showed up besides Misty to every session. Oh, I got another ally I'm not going to be able to use. Okay, it's fine. I finally got around to that up. But, anyways, here's the plot of the campaign. There's these mysterious rocks all around the world. You crack them. This is when Infinity War was really popular. So, they're like Infinity Stones, but not really. They're more like wild magic in a rock. Wild magic incarnate is what I always called them. After I learned what that was. Anyways, you crack one. They're different size, different shapes, different colors. And there's different activations. Touch or crushing. That's the two different activations. So some of them were just touch them and then they activate. So that was a little bit awkward for people wanting to actually handle them. And those were being that was a problem in the world. The group was hired by a god, which was Jack Backrack, because I was like, hey, I never used this thing, and I just thought, hey, they're not going to know anything about it. I'll just make up this random god, or I'll make him a god, I guess. The backstory was just he tricked a god into giving him his powers. I kind of hinted it was Vecna, but I was like, Vecna wouldn't be that powerful to just have no stat block, I don't think. I think Vecna has a stat block somewhere. Anyways, so there's just a mysterious random god he got powers from, and, like, it's all powerful now. Not in, like, a way that's going to, like, hinder the party, but in more of a way that's just, like, he's a quest giver. He can actively reward them. So, they later found out through plot that he was the one who made them. They were told to investigate it by this wizard named Ron. It was Ron the Wizard. They were told to investigate it by him, and over the course of the campaign, they found out Jack Backrack made them, and just threw them into the world to see what happens because he was bored. But then he was told by Jack Backrack, the group was, hey, can you go take out this one guy who was basically Thanos? So all of the rocks, no matter what, are one-time uses, and they just all disappear after that. But this guy found a way, and there's no way. Whenever I homebrew stuff now, I make sure there's a way for players to do it, but this was the one thing players cannot do at the time. Also, I didn't really think about it like that at the time. But he would find ways to put them into armor, basically like an Infinity Gauntlet, and make them multi-use, no matter what they are. Like, he had one that just actively skinned people, one that made him go faster, and I think one that made him go deaf. Like, it was like he only had it for testing. But he would go around and just be like, he'd show up to the group and be like, look, man, I'm chill. I just want your rocks. That's all I'm doing. Don't make me take it from you. Just be nice. Like, we'll be chill. I'm going to go look for more rocks, and then eventually I'm going to come back. But, like, just give me your rocks, you know? So, obviously, he was the BBEG. He didn't ever have a name, I don't think. They just called him Thanos anyways, which I got mad about, but it was fine. I wasn't, like, actively angry. I was just like, hey, can you not call him Thanos? This is a little bit original, but also a little bit not. Anyways, we'll get back to him in a minute. So, this is also the time I started watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, so not only did Tucker have a stone mask from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which he turned into a vampire. That was awkward, but, and it was the first time they encountered him. My friend Randall was playing, which he didn't play often when he showed up, but he walked up to the guy, rolled a nat 1 on Persuasion, so he slashed his face, and Tucker was wearing the mask, because, like, I think I egged him on to, like, wear it, just in case anything ever happened. Randall gets his face slashed by the Thanos guy, because I'm just going to call him that now, but I don't want to call him that, like, that's not what he was, but now everyone's going to call him that, just to be funny, but the blood splatters off of Randall's face onto Tucker's mask, makes him a vampire immediately, to which I statted that differently. Oh my god, that was a clusterfuck of a stat. I've learned since then. I still have them, but meh. Anyways, so he was a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure vampire, which made him very, very far up against the party, but there was, okay, if I remember correctly, there were 2 people that got drunk in-game one of the nights, so they passed out, so the group, and to be funny, put them outside in the sun, which Tucker's a vampire. They let Tucker burn alive. I think it was, oh, no, I think it was really funny, because one of the guys had stands. I'm gonna admit it. I was trying to be interesting at the time. I regret it. I also regret adding stands to Hindering Spirits, but I'll get there in a minute. But what ended up happening was I'm not doing that ever again in any campaign. But from what I know of, because you'll see a lot of these where they'll have stands, but meh. Anyways, someone had Hermit Purple or something, and no, it was Star Platinum. Tucker had Star Platinum, but someone had one that also let them draw. So they drew an accurate picture of them. Just they because they were drunk. They made them fucking spoon passed out like naked. It was very funny at the table. Like everyone was having fun. Like it wasn't awkward. And then they drew it and then just left them to die. And then they had to get revived. That was a quest. So that was one of the fun moments. Or I think Tucker drew it and then got knocked out by someone else. I don't know, but it was funny. It was funny. We were having fun. Everyone was chill. Like it wasn't. I think even the people that died in game just played it off as a joke because they got revived after. It all culminated in this. They were told to go visit this city called Holosi. Holosi was a big ass city. Now, pause. This is a campaign I ran for Leon and that friend that knows Leon. The one that casted or used their breath weapon. I'm gonna say his name because I said him in the stream with the Hendrick Spirits. His name's Gabriel. Anyways, I ran it for those two as well. Ronald the Wizard, Holosi, Stans, all of it. Same. Back to back. There was also one more thing. There was two more creatures that they encountered that I remember. One of them is called the Rat Man. It was the first BBEG ever. They encountered a town called Blackstone, which is where Ronald lived, or Ron the Wizard. And they meet him there, to which they have to go save some people dying from poison crops, which they go into the sewer and find this buff rat man that had the screech of the, I think I played it on stream, but or I recorded it and uploaded it, but there's an old game where you're playing in a Firewatch tower, and there's a goat man, and the screech of that is what he had, and it was, like, actually scary. I feel like I actually played it up pretty well, or it was intimidating for a first fight. Anyways, they get through that, and then they go meet another dude who lives a little bit outside of town, who's a hunter, and he lives in the forest, and he has these tree canopy things set up to watch out for like deer and stuff and hunt, like hunting stands. Yeah, that's what they're called. But there's one that keeps showing up. Now I got made fun of this at the time because the name of it, yes, but this is a real thing. If you look up the Australian Bigfoot, it is the Yowie. That is the Yowie. Now, if you say that word to someone who has no idea what you're talking about, but thinks the other method of, I'm not gonna actively like explain what it is. Don't go googling it. It's just like, I think it's just, I don't remember what it's called, or I don't remember how to describe it. I don't want to describe it. Point is, it's just like, if you ever played South Park, South Park game, I think it's the one with the superhero stuff. Tweak and Craig fan art. Now they're gay in South Park. So it's like Japanese styled or anime styled, not Japanese styled, anime styled fan art of those two together doing what gay people do. Not like they're underage, so I mean they're not gonna draw them doing stuff like that, but you know what I mean. So it just got that vibe to it, where just don't look it up. But anyways, not the Japanese Bigfoot, the Australian Bigfoot is called the Yowie, and I spelled it too. It's not the same spelling at all. The other spelling is Yoai, I believe. I don't know. But like there was one person who was like, "Oh, you mean that?" I'm like, "No. Google Australian Bigfoot, this thing." And I used that creature in D&D. And how did I do it? They started out in one of those hunting stands, and the tree got knocked down by the creature, and they ended up having to lead it in. Or the trick was they were supposed to lead it. I can't remember. The groups did something kind of different each. I think Leon's group did. They actually did what they no. It was Tucker's group that they was supposed to be doing. They were supposed to lead it into the cabin and then burn it down because its weakness was fire. And then Leon's group actually just brute forced it, I think. And I think eventually they put it into the house. So that was the original first two bosses they ever fought. And there was also, I think in Leon's version, there was a dude in a cave outside of Blackstone, sealed away for hundreds of years, and they were like, okay, don't let him get out. And then obviously he gets out, and then they fight him, and then they seal him back up. I don't remember what happened, but there was just an immortal dude behind a door. Hold on. I actually need to see if I wrote that down, because I went back and wrote down everything that they encountered. Give me a minute to put that down, because I don't think I wrote that one down. Give me a minute, let me pull my D&D folder. No, that's the wrong one. Yeah, so I just wanted to type it because that was like the one I just remembered that I was missing. Anyways, they fought him too, seal him away again, blah 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 blah. It's gone. Or they killed him. I don't remember. Which for like level 5s, or not even level 3 people. That's pretty impressive. So, anyways, for an immortal being. But anyways, I just didn't think about it at the time, and they didn't either. They had fun. Or I'm assuming they had fun because they came back for more. But anyways, they go to Holosi, and yes, they were actually I implemented stands as like an actual like interesting thing at the time at first because there was like, oh, there's an underground crime gang of people who have those. So I used ones from the show that were cool, and like one of the main ones had the world. If any of you know JoJo's Bizarre Adventure stuff, if you don't, no, I'm not gonna spoil that. I'm not gonna spoil what it does. But anyways, here's what they encounter. Oh, there was one more thing. We had a friend named Alex, and then he had a buddy named Talon that always showed up with him if they played. They stopped showing up eventually, but here's what they did before they did that. They met this big red dragon they were told to go take care of. God damn it! I remembered I didn't write him down either. What did I just say the name of the place was? Blackstone. Holosi, actually. But anyways, so they met this red dragon, who was like really chill. Not really. That's actually where Tucker found the stone mask at. It was in the Dragon's Treasure Hoard because there was an actual like, Fizban's Treasure of Dragons didn't exist at the time, so it was like, eh. But anyways, I think this was after Ghost of Saltmarsh dropped too. I don't know. Anyways, like that was the most recent book I remember being out at the time. Anyways, so they got that. They were trying to get a power stone from the dragon. I think they were told they got to get a really good one from there, and they went. They woke the dragon up, and Alex goes, "We'll give you 30,000 gold in 2 months." The dragon goes, "Yeah, okay. We can work that out. Like, actually, that's pretty good. Actually, or it might have been three. It was either 30,000 or 300,000. If I can get Ever Tucker in one of these streams, he does probably remember, because he'll bring this up. Alex immediately stopped showing up to sessions after he made that deal. So basically, he screwed them over, gave the party a debt that they had to do. I'm not mad at Alex. Like, I'm not. I think it was funny. But anyways, so they dealt with a couple stands. They had the same stands as like the main 6 characters from the Stardust Crusaders uh, arc, or part, because that's the part I was on. Which I wish I would have been on part 4 at the time, because damn, those got good. But oh no, I was. Tucker ended up just meeting someone who had Killer Queen, and they blew themselves up. They blew themselves up. There was also Mario. Mario, the pizza guy. Oh my god, Mario the pizza guy. I remember Mario the pizza guy. They ran into Guy when I was, of course, I was super, like, not good with it. I don't remember which one he had. I think he might have had a custom one that could just stop people's hearts that I just gave him, because I didn't know about all of them at the time, and I didn't know there was one that would go sheer heart attack. Or maybe if he ate the pizza, something happened. But and then he immediately met the Kira one right after that. But it was like, it wasn't like Tonio from part 4. He had his own thing. But Tucker really interacted with him like a lot before they figured out he was evil. And then I just remember his plan failing terribly. I don't remember. He had some sort of ability like that, but I'm not gonna write him down. He's something completely different, not as actively as like memorable as the other ones, but still, I thought that was funny. In the same day, here's what happened. They had Ron the Wizard was basically like Elebron. He has the ability to literally plot convenience anything. He doesn't actually use D&D spells. Also, because in case you don't notice, I don't like using NPCs that have spells. I just homebrew something or something like that. That's why Counterspell usually doesn't work, because I just don't want to go actively look up the spells and stuff, because I don't have the books. So I'm like, I'm like actively digging through so much knowledge to use the spells and stuff. I'm like, I don't want to do that. It's way too much time. So I'll just homebrew something in a text document or something and just scroll through that one text document. Very rarely. I'm going to try and get better about that. But continuing on, Ron the Wizard had this ability to talk to people through mirrors. There's also a mirror dimension that is it was a direct link to like the multiverse of that exact world. Only one of them. You walk through the mirror, it's the other side. And there's always a couple differences. Not too many, though. So Ron would actually talk to himself and give himself advice from the other Ron, from the other dimension. But here's what happened. They're talking to Ron through a mirror, because he also has that ability, too. It's kind of like a telephone. It could just switch. I don't think it was ever implied the mirror could go to another dimension. It only had one it was connected to, but it could also call people, basically, through other people's mirrors. Anyways, he called them and was like, look, you got a lot of problems coming soon. The dragon's going to come soon. The Thanos dude that I don't remember the name of is going to come soon. You need to be ready. To which the guy with the world attacked, he was one, like, he wasn't the main guy, but actually no, I think he was actually the main guy, but not in like a I'm the evilest guy in the world, haha. He was like the last member they hadn't taken care of already, so he just showed up. There wasn't no active leader. They all just worked with each other. So he showed up. Tucker took care of him because he figured out he had an ability once the guy who had the world used his ability. That seemed a little similar. If you've seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to be spoiler free. Continuing though. Anyways, then immediately, oh, they took care of him. They got the call. Immediately, Ron dies, stabbed by the Thanos dude. Thanos dude teleports in and it's like, "What's up, fuckers?" So they fight. Tucker uses the Star Platinum ability I just mentioned to roll the Thanos dude. Immediately kill him. He's dead. Super easily. What Tucker couldn't stop, and Misty was there too. Like, Misty actively helped too. We remember the only thing she says the only thing she did was dig a hole, but she did other things. Like, she did other things. We can't remember what those things are, but we know she did other things. But she remembers digging a hole specifically, just at random. She was like, I'm gonna dig a hole. So she did that. But she did things. We just don't remember what those things were, and she doesn't remember either. Continuing on though. The dragon attacked the same day too. Same town they were in. Destroyed the town. So, the Ron from the alternate mirror shows up and goes, "Hi. I'm just going to take you all to my reality. All this has been solved. All this was taken care of. And I don't want to talk to you all again. You all failed." Or no, I think they fucked up the Thanos guy for the first time. They didn't do it correctly, or something bad happened. I think they weren't supposed to let Ron die. I think they had a chance to not let him die, and they fucked it up. So he actively said, "Look, I'm bringing you here. I never want to talk to you all again." To which they did that, and they went through the portal and went their separate ways, and that was the campaign end. That was the end of the campaign, and Tucker missed that day too. So he just had to get filled in on that one. So, yeah, the campaign ended there. Then, though, Leon's version never got to that far, but it was still fun. For what did happen, I feel like. Anyways. Okay. That was campaign 1. Not really. That was pre-campaign 1. So campaign 1, or how they say is campaign 1, took place in the same world. It took place in the... Which one did it take place in? I think it took place in the shitty ending version, where Ron died. Excuse me. But I'm not sure. Or it took place in... No, I think it took place in the good version. It took place in one of the two. The other one will come back, though. It'll be important. We retconned it a little bit to where Ratman, the Yowie, and all that were fights again, because the group was together. We had Ethan, Leon, Alex. No, we didn't have Alex. Ethan, Leon, Tucker, Jack, Gabriel. That was it. That was it at the time. Holy shit. Am I forgetting anyone? I don't think I'm forgetting anyone. Misty was not in these because she didn't have an way to join the Discord, but I actively want to get her in. Said actively again. Fuck, I'm getting better about it now, though. Anyways, Gabriel eventually left. We got Haven eventually. At the time, they were known as Justin, but eventually that switched, and that's fine, like I said. Leon also went by a different name at the time, but I'm not going to actively dead name my friends, so watch Hindering Spirits if you want to know about that. Just do that. It'll happen during that for both of them. Anyways, the same time, though, I genuinely sometimes forget they had a different name at some point. So, I mean, at least I'm getting better at that. I used to be super shitty about doing it wrong. I'm going to get off that subject now, though, because it's awkward as fuck to bring up now, repeatedly. Continuing on, though. So the new campaign starts. They do the same stuff. Dragon, the plot about the Thanos guy. Everything is the same. Until eventually it's not. So, the differences were Holosi was trashed, so there was no stand users. Holosi was actively trashed. They did get stands. However, I'll get to that in a minute. Because the dragon fucked it up. That's why I can't remember if it was the bad ending or the good ending. I think it was the bad ending. Because Tucker's character was related to his one from the original campaign. So, and his plot was to go kill the dragon. I think it was the bad ending because he was gonna go kill the dragon. I just don't remember why Ron was alive. I think I might have just retconned that he never died. Because I mean, it was like an active redo of it all, to like bring the group together, redo a couple things, and it was fun. What is it called? It's like a reboot. That's what I'm trying to say. It changed though because they started at a different town called Gravelstone. Was it Gravelstone? I mean, it might have been Gravelstone. Blackstone was still a thing, but it was abandoned. Anyways, so yeah, they started at Gravelstone. They met this guy named Mr. Dwarf, who was running also a crime gang. Hold on, I'm gonna start from the beginning. They all meet. They all go investigate a murder. No, they might have been Gravelstone. It was Gravelstone. Thank you, Leon, who is here. Hi, Leon. Anyways, sorry, I'm just mentioning what I just said earlier. That was a little bit awkward, and I'm like, oh, you're here. Anyways, it's fine though. Getting off that, Gravelstone. Everyone went and immediately. So this guy put a wanted poster because I think someone stole something from his house and he wanted it to be investigated. Well, the group finds out, hey, this guy's actually a serial killer and skins people for leather for his house, including his leather armor, his leather couch, and he was demented. His name was Rowlin, and he was a high elf, I believe, or he was a dark elf. I don't remember, or drow. I don't remember which one he was. But anyways, yeah, they had to fight him. Ethan went down, and he was actively being dragged back like unconscious to this guy's house, and the party ambushed him, and Tucker got a lucky arrow shot and just fucking killed him. Anyways, to which then later there's this auction house that they enjoyed going to a lot, which they later found out, which they'd just be random magic items there that they could buy if they to actually spend their adventuring money. They found out that the guy Mr. Dwarf was behind it. I retconned who he is. I'll bring that up later. He was just a chill dude who sent the party on quest occasionally. But Tucker, when they were looking for the murderer, which was Rowland, went into the sewer for some reason to actively investigate the sewer. Now that one I feel like actively works there. There was no door. He didn't find anything, and he actively spent several days, or not several days, but hours in game there. Nothing ever came of it. But then immediately Mr. Dwarf had a door down there. So ever since then, it's just been questioning, like, oh, dude, what the fuck, man? So I made him a Time Lord. You know A in Enduring Spirits? A is supposed to be one of the Time Lord variations of Mr. Dwarf. Mr. Dwarf isn't actually a dwarf. He's just a midget regeneration of the fucking Time Lord from Doctor Who. I just ripped that race off and made it that and retconned it years later. Anyways, because what the thing is, though, there was a point in that campaign where Mr. Dwarf changed his face and became an elf out of nowhere. And he just disappeared one day, so the party went and tracked him down, and he was just a different person. And he just lied and said, or he didn't lie. He said that there was this wish he made that at any time he could just change his appearance. But no one rolled insight on that, so I could have retconned it, and I did, and he became a fucking Time Lord. I have a list somewhere of all the incarnations, and some of them are left blank still, so I can throw them in occasionally, but I just thought that was interesting. Anyways, that's later, though. So they did other things like, they got stands, which I remember some players were like, hey, I'm not big on this. So I immediately had the gods show up and be like, okay, y'all don't want this, we're taking that away. Not the greatest thing in the world, but it gave reasons for specifically Tucker to hate the gods. So Tucker made a plan to kill the gods. Obviously, Jack Bacharach's not part of that because Jack Bacharach is unfucking killable and spontaneous. See, it's a self-insert, but I feel like everyone agrees. Like I have not heard a single player out of like the at least 15 FDMs said the self-inserts I do are annoying because of the way I do them. They're entertaining and funny. I've literally self-inserted in someone else's campaign with Jack Bacharach, and it was the greatest shit in the world. People still quote what I did in that today. Like, to this day, like, I heard someone quote it. So, like, it's fine. But continuing on, though, how they met him in that campaign this time, I changed it from he just shows up to Haven specifically heard him speaking out of a coffin. There was just, like, they were in the realm of the gods after they got the stands taken away, and there's just, like, a coffin being carried, or, like, this box being carried, like, concealed, and he hears a voice in his head, or she hears a voice in her head and just hears, let me out. And then Haven's like, Lamau, no, and they just leave. They found like a platform in the middle of the jungle that took them up to the realm of the gods because they went back. I forgot why they went back. I think they went back for something else, like a quest line or something. And then they did that, and then when they get home, he's just sitting there just chilling because they rebuilt Blackstone because it was also abandoned. And when they rebuilt Blackstone, it ended up Jack named it Twilight Town. I still call it Blackstone, not to be rude to him, but I still call it Blackstone. Anyways, because that's how I remember it. Literally, the campaign was literally called Blackstone 450 years later because it was 450 years after the events of the first campaign, technically, even though some were retconned into it. Yeah, I think it was the shitty ending because the good ending had different variations, and I'll get there in a minute. What's other stuff they did? So Tucker planned to kill the gods. They rebuilt Twilight Town. Ethan had a moment where he discovered these rings called the Four Rings of the Apocalypse, which carried into hindering spirits. But he used them to have a moment in character where he just like freaked out, and then his goal was to have the party have him just chill out, but it took a while to get there. So he actually got arrested. Like I made the town that they were building because they rebuilt the town. Actively be like, hey, and again, I'm using actively good here now. Be like, hey guys, we want to buy stuff from the auction house you guys set up too, or hey, or what you guys doing legal? There was this one guard. He's always like, I'm not sure if that's legal, and they kept him on as a guard, and it was really annoying, but it was funny too. I always made it a big deal for them to check their mail too, but they're like, hey, we're gonna go kill these vampires that are outside of town. Is that legal? I know they're vampires, but they're not doing anything. He was right, but he was annoying. Anyways, but I genuinely gave reasons for people in the town. Oh, before I knew what part 6 of Joe's Bizarre Adventure was, there was this guy who they wanted to go to a new campaign, which was going to be Hindering Spirits. I was working on it at the time. There was this guy, an NPC, who was like, hey, he had this really weird, convoluted plot, and I didn't know what part 6 of Joe's Bizarre Adventure was at the time, so before I say anything here, it's going to sound a lot similar, but this is a complete random plot I made for the week. It was very much a villain of the week kind of thing. He was going to reset the universe. If spoilers, part 6. But anyways, the thing was though, anyone who signed who joined his cult, they'd come back as one person. All of them into one person. And that's a very weird thing. It never happened because they put a stop to it. Also, Ethan had a girlfriend in that campaign, in campaign. There were these two tiefling sisters. One was a fabric worker. They had two shops next to each other, and the other was a potion shop. And it became morally weird because because he dated the one that made potions, the alchemist one, and she straight up was like, "Hey, yeah, I kind of like the sound of that," and they had to actively be like, "No, no, no, don't do that." So they went and handled it, so that didn't happen. And then I think Jack killed him. Jack was brutal, and they all had to sit there like he's not being mean, but at the same time, this is bad. I don't know. I tried throwing morally conflicting things at them a lot. It didn't work out all the time, but sometimes it did. Anyway, so that was a weird random plot point they had. Let's see, what else did they have? Ethan got married eventually and retired that character and made a new one that was possessed by a genie. Anyways, oh, Ethan's first character that got married. I should probably go into that because he had a little bit of spotlight too. Oh, Tucker became another Joe's Bizarre Adventure vampire again, by the way, but I'm going to get off that. Yeah, also was very good at Arrow Go Whoosh was a quote we kept using because that's what he used whenever, or I did that Wojak of something Go Whoosh whenever he killed Rowlin. I photoshopped Yoshikage Kira to have brown hair and a brown suit like Rowlin the elf did, and he gave him elf ears. And then just because Tucker says character was blonde, I got that Wojak plus a blonde hair and put it on there and made a shitty meme that just said haha Arrow Go Whoosh, and I thought that was funny. And it was actually pretty funny. Like, I have that picture somewhere. It's pretty funny. But anyways, what were we doing though? Mentioning the fact that no, fucking, it was the bad ending. Ronald was not there. He was not there because Blackstone was abandoned. Anyways, so they ended up so Ethan's character had a family. They grew on a Babana farm up in like the northeast town. This Babana farm. Now, he made up this new fruit. I don't know if this is from like a game or anything. But anyways, Babana. If you ever hear banana or Babana, this is where it's from. Sorry. I misspoke trying to misspeak a word. Goddamn. Anyways, fuck you, Ethan. Anyways, so his family told him to get the fuck out because they didn't like him for doing what he was doing. Anyways, so he had to go back there. He had this amazing butler named Jonathan who knew a lot more than he should have. Anyways, Jonathan kicked ass. But for real though, one of the visits they did, it was like the first visit ever. Jonathan just knocks at their hotel room because they didn't stay at Ethan's place because his parents were mad at him. But after this, what I'm about to say happened, they all got together. Along the way to get to Ethan's house, because they had to cross like the entire continent to get to the northeastern side, they had to cross through some mountains and stuff. As they got out of the mountains, which is where the dragon lived, but they didn't encounter it. Instead, they encountered this strange ass door. This like this stone door. They just happened to roll high enough on perception. And I was like, yeah, there's a strange door. To which they opened it, didn't go down it. They were like, nah, we have better shit to do, and then walked away. That was the greatest thing they've ever done. Because that was how... Okay, hold on. They go back to the town, right? And they're just like... They just hear a loud, frantic knocking at the door as Jonathan sprinted like from like 2 miles away. And he's just panting. He's just like, sir, you gotta come with me. You gotta handle this. And he's like, what? And I'm like, what is... He's still wheezing, and he's like, and he's like, what are you saying? He's like, beholder. And they're all like, oh, fuck no. They were all really low level at the time. I think they were all like level 6. So yeah, they just show up, and there's just this... I think originally he was green, if I remember correctly. I talk about Elrond. He's purple now, but I think originally he might have been green, but then I changed it to purple. They just see this big beholder who's just casually chilling on like... So they had like... I basically stole the Joestar mansion when picturing, because it was a big like mansion that he lived in, or his parents did. 2 staircases and like a platform up here that people can walk on, a balcony to like look over the main hall. And there's just a beholder talking to Ethan's character's mom, just being like, your son is incredibly rude. They just walk by, leave my damn door open. So I followed them to just treat them some damn manners. They met Elrond there. He didn't get mad. He didn't fight them, but he just like gave them a stern talking to. Don't leave people's door open. Like, shut people's doors. Have respect. You know what I mean? And anyways, that's how they met Elrond, the multiversal traveling beholder. And also, Elrond just moved his door into there because they built a castle outside of Blackstone. I think they named it like Twilight Keep or something like that. Anyways, yeah, Elrond just moved his door in there. So they had a beholder in their basement. That was fun. So they took care of the armor dude finally. They didn't have to do it the same way. They had to go to the licensing depot for, Holosi at one point. I don't remember why they did, but there was literally like a good 20 minutes in game where they're role playing getting some sort of permit in like a super slow, where's your stamp? Alright, please wait for your number to be called. And I read off like 13 different numbers, and then one of the members went up, Oh, also a running gag was the sword from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Anubis. They kept finding it. They found it, or no, they literally found it one time. It was at an auction house. Someone got it. One of the main party members got it. It was kind of like a, hey, don't just keep buying from the marketplace. Let some NPCs do it too, just for me to cause some dickery and trickery. Anyways, so it possessed a random NPC, then it possessed a party member, so Jack grabbed it in a way that wouldn't trigger it, threw it into the ocean, because that's how they beat it in part 3 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure as well. It just happened to fly into the ocean and slowly just to rot away, because, rust, and also salt water on metal. But continuing on here, though, what ended up happening was they did that, but they found it again in Holosi in just rubble, in like a scrap heap. And it was the most hilarious shit, because he teleported back to the ocean somehow. He had magic to do it, and threw it back in. I just found that so funny. That they almost... Because they were searching through the scrap heaps, because the entire thing's just rubble. Anyways. Oh yeah, I did mention Ethan got arrested. He got sent to like a psychiatric ward in a new prison that was opened up. Everyone was arguing that he shouldn't be, but he was actively punished because he was putting town lives in danger. Like, the town was actually really fair. I will stand by that. And he wasn't getting like put on death penalty. He was just being told, go be here until you're better, like mentally, and then we'll bring you back. Like, you're just gonna have to serve a little bit of time. And everyone was like, no, we're in charge. You don't have to do that. And the towns are just like, look, we don't want you in charge if this is what's going to happen. We don't want to actually be put in danger. Even, I think even Elrond was like, look, dude, I can't help you. By the way, Elrond had those contained, and Ethan snuck in and got them. So, like, Elrond was like, look, dude, I'm kind of with them. Like, you kind of put a lot of people in danger. Just go do the time. And then he tried getting hired for what was the early stages of the Watchers from Hindering Spirits. Like, they were like, hey, you're a gifted person. Here's the SCP Foundation. A couple other things that happened. I'm gonna fast forward this now. There's this. So in Elrond's door, there's a big library he has that's just ever expanding. So it has details on everything. I think Leon learned the Spirit Bomb and Kaioken technique, but before the Dragon Ball D&D variant versions of it, they had a version of it. Anyways, but I'm bringing that up because there's a paper dragon that guards it, a book dragon, and it's the fucking like they ran into that a couple times. That was hard to do. So they ended up finding this cult in the middle of the jungle. There was also an island called Monster Island, I believe. Yeah, there was a Monster Island. I think that's also in Hindering Spirits. No, in Hindering Spirits it's the War Zone now, but in the original OG campaign it was Monster Island, and it's how I got Godzilla to join. Which, by the way, they killed that with an original Arcane Armory nuke that Meanlo invented. The original Meanlo was a dick. He was kind of like Lex Luthor in Batman vs Superman, and he had a sister named Bellatrix who was like, I think her name is Gila from Seven Deadly Sins. Very like smiley, but like major raging bitch, and just had like no emotions at all except anger. So she power word killed Ethan after they killed Meanlo. Ethan died like 3 times. One to a Pillarman, which Elrond immediately revived him because he. One to Bellatrix, which she's dead in Hindering Spirits, and that's how, literally by her dying, Meanlo's a better person. He becomes a superhero, like Batman, basically, which I thought was funny. But I just threw him in there as like showing like history can occur twice, and I'll explain that again in a minute. But Hindering Spirits is not the other side of the mirror. I'll get there in a minute. I keep saying that, like, but I will. So they find this random cult in the middle of the jungle. I think it was on Monster Island, and they're all just sitting there like, "Oh hey, what's up?" And then one of them eventually mentioned Elrond. No, wait, no. Actually, they were really chill at first because they were like, there was this magic circle in the ground, and they kept trying to put spells into the magic circle. They'd give up spell slots to contribute to it because they were trying to teach them stuff. They're like, hey, can you help us with this project we're working on? And they never really elaborated. They were just saying we're just trying to mess with magic to fine tweak this circle to do things with. Well, one of them eventually mentioned Elrond, and then the group knew like the cult knew what Elrond was, and they didn't know it was a cult or who Elrond was, and was like, oh hey, we are actively trying to kill him using this, which he's not killable, but they didn't know that. So what ended up happening was, straight up, by using Elrond DNA, Jack's new player race known as Aphexi, they and some other DNA, they made a second Elrond. There's a clone Elrond out in the multiverse there somewhere. His name is literally Clone Elrond. And he's out there somewhere. Also, the group got saved one time by him riding the paper dragon out of nowhere. That was amazing. He's Clone Elrond is a really dark gray, and also he's morally ambiguous. He's not evil. Has not OG Elrond can be Clone Elrond, but Clone Elrond's still strong. But here's the problem with Clone Elrond. There was this gang of like 9 assassins that tried killing the party because they just became a challenge for everyone. So like, one of the assassins was just Clone Elrond. He was just like, look, I got bored. I can just stop if y'all want. So that was one of them that they beat. Yeah, because they shouted, for the 9, the first one that they encountered, and they made quick work of them, but 2 of them were difficult. Oh, I forgot to mention one of the earlier bosses they fought. 2 of them. One of them was named, oh fuck, what was his name? Gren, and then he had another guy. I don't remember his friend. He had, okay, if you've ever seen One Punch Man, there's a brother, or 2 brothers. One of them becomes basically an Attack on Titan and a scientist. Picture that, but this guy took rabies and made it. He took rabies and steroids and combined them. So if they injected it, it made your eyes red, you get muscular, and you are completely not in control of yourself. Except the scientist guy kept microdosing it, so he kept his intelligence whenever he used it. That's not something the players could ever do, though, to obtain, but they tried doing it, and I was like, nah, you're not going to be able to microdose like this guy. This guy literally invented it. So this chemical concoction, they fought this, like, roided out dude. Like, it was the craziest shit. That was one of their first ever encounters, too, after Rowland. And Jack actually got injected, and that's how they figured out he had wings. He flew up into the air, and then they just knocked him out, and that fixed it. But anyways, what was I gonna say though? So they beat them, but then there's one more card called Arloff. Arloff was just Frankenstein, and he had like four zombies with him, and Jack fucking curb stomped him. Okay, so Jack rolled a nat 1 to non-lethally knock him out by like flying down and giving him a kick in the head to knock him out. Because he rolled a nat 1, I made him kill him. Like, he just watermelon just cracked like everything. I know it's weird to do a nat 1 like that, but I thought it was really funny at the time, and hey, it still holds up. That encounter came back though, both. So they actually got teleported into hell by people at random who are like, look, we need your help. Now, helping people in hell is never a good idea, and they even were actively trying not to, but I had already statted it out, so I egged them on to try it and see what happens. So the people in hell were like, look, we're just normal people who fucked up, but there's two random guys who just showed up out of nowhere, and they're actively trying to fight each other on who's better. One of them keeps, and keep in mind, they can't die in hell. They just keep actively like respawning after their body's completely destroyed, or be in parts and still feel everything. Or that's how I ruled it. It's Arloff and Rowlin trying to up each other. One's Frankensteining monsters, the other one was just skinning them. So yeah, they went down there. They weren't really big on helping either of them because they could have picked one of the two villains to help, or they could have just left, or they could have just killed both of them. I think they went and killed both of them, which I'm happy they did that because that put them that stopped them again. They put them in their place, but also it helped like the other like people that were running around. But at the same time, they were way worse. I basically was like, I thought it was a neat encounter, but they weren't really big on it at the time. I can see why, but at the same time, I still thought it was pretty neat. They left. They left pretty satisfied. Ethan ended up, like, he wasn't metagaming, but I mentioned there were hellhounds, and he's like, guys, I fought hellhounds in other campaigns, and those aren't good. My glasses tell me so. Anyways, I'm kidding, but for real, though. I was like, dude, these are homebrew hellhounds I just wrote up because you guys are so low level. These are not, like, I stole Doom bosses and just put, like, the highest thing had, like, 18 health, and they were big, like, I made them sound like they were just the big hell tyrants from Doom, but they weren't anything too big. So they tried it. I think it went well. Like, it didn't go bad. But then at the end of the day, so that happened. Oh, and then they came out of hell. They came out of hell one time too, stitched together. The two villains, like stitched together. They got cornered in an alleyway and just got capped really quickly by Tucker and Jack specifically. I think, not putting all the spotlight in Tucker and Jack, but they did a thing. Like here, let me go into more characters. Jack was a member of a long thought to be dead race who was just kind of picked up and joined, like, the equivalent of put into a circus, kidnapped and put into a circus, basically, until eventually he found his tribe, and then, yeah. Oh, Jack also actively, in one of his rages in-game, not out of game, he wasn't mad out of game, but in-game, burned down 20% of an entire forest, but, like, it was the biggest forest, so there was this dragon named Gilithor who just showed up. He was one of the technical gods of that campaign, the forest god, and he was a green dragon. And yeah, actually, they did really good against him. I had to, like, play it down. Like, I was like, nah, you didn't do much to him. But in reality, he was at, like, 50 health, so he flew away. But, yeah, Jack pissed him off. So that was interesting. But, what else was there? Ethan was just a guy who was kicked out by his family, but then after Elrond, straight up, I mean, Elrond didn't fix it, but after Elrond, they were like, thanks for coming, son, we're friends again. Tucker was a relative of the first campaign's character. Haven was a person who lived in Holosi and actively walked among the wreckage using some technology to... They were a cleric, but they used technology to help them assist get through all the rubble and help people to escape it as well. I think they straight up had a mech. Leon was literally a prince? Leon, if you're in chat, were you a dude in that campaign? I know you had two sisters who ran the kingdom, and then you had an evil brother who was in control, who you killed. No, no, no. You killed him before the campaign. That's why you were with the party, because you escaped because you killed him, and then he came back because a random ass necromancer revived him, or he paid a necromancer to revive him if he died, and then that was actually a really interesting fight because at first he was just a normal dude, but because Leon had a stand, I gave Leon's brother King Crimson the stand King Crimson from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5. So they're just like the rest of the like I think Jack walks in to talk to the brother. The rest of the group's looking in the castle windows, but then King Crimson's just sitting there like making sure they like is actually staring at them, just like don't move. And it was a really tense fight there. I think it was really close on who ended up winning, but like obviously the group won. Let's see, is there anything else I'm missing? Oh, Leon's sisters in game. Not only did they end up taking the throne instead of Leon, who would have been there, because Leon was like, I still want to adventure. Like, you can say I'm here, but while I'm gone, they can take it up the mantle. They had the Oingo Boingo brothers stands, so they end up having to like teleport to one of Leon's sisters all the time and be like, "Hey, I need your book." So that was fun. Uh, but anyway, how this campaign ended, we'll go ahead and fast forward to there. Uh, Tucker wanted to go kill the gods. He let Jack in on the plan, and then immediately, because he was mad that the gods took the stand abilities and the fact that Tucker was a vampire. Or no, I swapped the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure vampire for regular vampire, which using that ability, they were like, "Look, we're gonna make you a weaker vampire," which was just a normal D&D vampire. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure vampires are cracked. Anyways, rest of the party was like, "Yeah, we can do it too. We're mad too." And Tucker was like, "Wait, no, I want to do it this way." And then the rest of the party's like, "Yeah, we got this." So the gods immediately hear about Tucker's plan and just are like, "No," and they just lock him away. So it became a rescue mission for the entire rest of the party to go rescue Tucker. Tucker's a little salty about this ending, but I can kind of see why. His entire plan was kind of not able to be done because he was kidnapped by. Oh, and I fucked up and didn't read Tiamat's stat block correctly and didn't know they were immune to fire. So Jack put like 10 delayed blast fireballs down and Leon spirit bombed Tiamat. But they killed Tiamat with fire damage. Yeah, like 500 fire damage that should not have done anything. Anyways, the gods literally went, "Oh, you killed Tiamat. Okay, you know what? You guys go home. Take your vampire friend. We're sorry." And just left. So nothing actually got accomplished. And Jack Backrack was not on this panel of gods, by the way. He was just also living in their basement. Because of course he was. Anyways, that's how that campaign ended. It ended with Ethan's first character getting married. And yeah, that was the end of campaign 1. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. If I am, it's not anything like too major. Let me think. What else happened? Do 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 do. Oh, yeah, there was one thing. A fighting arena. Also, Gabriel was there, but ended up stopped coming. So Jindar was there, the Dragonborn barbarian specifically. Jindar was fun. Jindar was very fun. I miss him. I want more Jindar. We need a spin-off series for Jindar. Oh, also, Gabe had one shot in that world. No, it was in the Hindering Spirits world before Hindering Spirits was a thing. He was a part of the Watchers, and he ended up fighting. I stole the stats from a Kangaskhan from Pokemon. Someone homebrewed that, and I used it. I also made them fight it in Hindering Spirits, but Gabriel fought it, won, wrote down about the creature, and returned to the Watchers. Borkov the Bear, which is a werewolf, or a werebear specifically from Hindering Spirits, actively helped Gabe in that fight. So that's how in Hindering Spirits he's like, I have friends in the Watchers. He was talking about Gabe's character, which was not Jindar, but I don't remember who it was. So I just want to bring that up too real quick. I like interconnecting a lot of things. But anyways, where was I going though? By the way, I do actively DM for Misty too. Again, actively can be used in that context a lot. I'm just not mentioning that because this stuff doesn't usually come into the live stream campaigns. But I can bring those up too if anyone would be interested in it, but not right now. Anyways, not that it's not interesting. I'm just trying to talk about the stuff I've been doing that is like relevant to YouTube specifically that's been brought up more often. Again, no offense to what I'm doing for Misty, like it's fun too, but I'll get there in a little bit. Anyways, there was a fighting pit where I would roll periodically who's in the fighting pit. The Elrond simulation room from Rendering Spirits is in there too. It's a room where you basically can simulate anything. So if you guys, if they wanted to fight each other, they can do it without dying or anything. Elrond had his own custom deck of many things. He sold candies to children. That was his whole thing. He's like Willy Wonka, but a beholder. And no one's supposed to know he's a beholder, but obviously the group always ends up finding out. What else is there? He had his own spell book you can buy. He had this kind of thing that was like Sword Art Online. That was like a simulation thing you go into. It's a little orb that if you beat it, you get a wish. The rooms are randomized with loot and stuff. But anyways, the fighting pit. Oh shit! Earlier in the campaign, way earlier, before even Tucker was a vampire, uh, they... I think Tucker fished the stone mask out of the ocean, by the way, if I remember correctly, in that campaign. I don't know. Or maybe got it out of the auction house. But he knew what it was that time because he watched our adventure at that point. But anyways, they stopped at a random town and saved a group of goblins, which they were sent there to take care of the goblins, but the goblins said they'd leave the town alone because they were just trying to come to the town to get help from, what are they called? Bar guests. Now it sounds like bar guests, like people go visit bars, but Google bar guest hunting goblins, and you'll see it spelled differently for D&D. Or goblin hunter bar guests, they're not spelled exactly the same way. And Tucker mainly saved them. It was really funny. But also I think he actively did something in a way that made the goblins think he was bad. So the goblins hated everyone, or didn't hate anyone in the group but him. But in reality, he was the one who saved them. But I don't remember what specifically he did. I think you might have mentioned as a joke using one of them as bait or something, and they all took it literally. Well, one day, they're building this town, right? And they start hearing, oh, hey, there's some goblins outside the thing. The guards are too... We don't have a good enough guards. There's some goblins outside the town who've been spotted recently. Our guards aren't strong enough yet. We don't have enough to go actually do it. We have one guard, and it's the illegal guy. Like, is this legal? Like, they had one, so obviously they had to go handle it themselves. Come to find out, it's those goblins. And they finally meet their group, who sounds like Jabba the Hutt. His name was Chunga. I am Chunga. Yes. Thank you for saving my people. We come to visit you and live in your beautiful town. Anyways, that turned out wonderful. Originally his name was Chunka, but I was like, nah, that doesn't roll off the same way as Chunga. I based him off of Super Kami Guru from Team 4 Star. Google it if you don't know what it is. Him and also just Jabba the Hutt. Like, he always had the same face going as Super Kami Guru, though. Just, no, but he never said that. So, they lived in the town with those goblins lived in town. Sure, they caused occasional, just mischievous natures, but they were under active protection from the town, and I thought that was really nice of them to do that. But the fighting pit, though, had several encounters. The most memorable ones are these two. Drunk Jack Bacharach, which gave Haven wild magic for who knows how long. They ended up finding out it was like 2 in-game weeks. But okay, so here's what happened. I had the Dingo Doodles, if they're on YouTube. They released what wild magic table they used for their hit YouTube video where they mentioned how their monkey character has wild magic. They released it. It was a 3.5 one, but I converted anything that would be 3.5 related or re-rolled anything that would be too hard to convert at the time. So they were fighting Core Spawn, a giant Core Spawn worm. They were used in Sandstone Scuffle, if anyone's seen that one shot. I don't have a way to play the noise, but I'm supposed to play a noise every time I say that, but you know what I mean. So they escaped the cave because Ethan decided to try and use a radiant ability in them, and there, by the way, they heal the radiant, or they reflect it towards the caster. So everyone runs because this thing is like 300 health or something. And they get back to the town, and this guy's sitting at a desk like, what are you doing in my inn? Get out of here. And as he says that, he gets eaten by the worm that just jumps out of the floor. And then Haven's like, I got this. Shoots a spell. Haven and the worm swap places. Haven was standing next to the party. The entire party was immediately swallowed up by the worm because the worm would have just, by the way the worm teleported, just swallowed the entire party and almost got everyone killed. It's not their fault. No one blames Haven for it, but that was an active bad thing. everyone was really, I think Leon wasn't there for that session, so everyone was really hoping Leon could join because they would be another person outside actively helping. But it's fine. They lived. I think Ethan might have went down, which is funny to say because Ethan in that campaign. That's why his character retired. He died so many times. I don't remember all of them, but yeah. Tucker invited the gods. Tiamat happened. Oh, the second fighting pit enemy. The goblins built a mech. Chunga would just sit in the middle, just in a chair, and the rest of them would just operate the limbs. So that was a fun little fight. Like, no one was meant to die out of it. It was just a fun little time. Is there anything else I can think of? The other time Haven got wild magic is when they tried crushing a power stone, and that happened. Oh, there's casually a time where Jack got sent in the void for like 3 in-game days, just floating around by crushing one of those. Someone got their gender changed for like an in-game day until they crushed another random. I know, no, they made a deal with Jack Backrack and then got another stone and then fixed it after doing a mission for him. What was another thing that happened? They got straight up Dragon Ball fusion earrings one time. They ended up helping him because Jack Backrack has like stylized earrings like that because pirate background. And then I was just like, fuck it, they're those now. Instead of green ones like Vegito, I was like that. What else is there? Oh wait, Vegito doesn't have green ones. That's Zamasu. Fuck Zamasu. I'm getting tired. It is 2 a.m. What else was there? We're running low on things. We are running low on things. Specifically how they met Meanlo whenever they met him for the first time. He was doing an expose at like the town that Leon is king in, or the city Leon's supposed to be king or queen. I don't remember what gender their character was at the time period, but anyways. I think it was a dude, but I'm not sure. Anyways, they met him in like an expose for his item or the things he was making and mass producing for the like, you know, it was just the same stats as the ones in Hindering Spirits but without radiation because that wasn't a thing yet. But someone tried showing up with a bomb and just sat on stage and was like, look, I'm going to blow this up unless I'm paid this much right now. The party just took care of it, and he thanked the party. And then they started interfering with some of his plans. I don't remember what the exact plans were, and then they ended up killing him. What else is there? We're pretty much out of things. Like, that's all the memorable stuff. Oh, they meant like an immortal dude, which was a self-insert. It's just a human fighter named Jake Hathelswood. He crushed a power stone. He was Ron the Wizard helped him travel around. They fought a lich one time. It was fun. That was his backstory. He's just immortal. But here's the thing: they don't really know when that immortality is going to expire. They know it could. It might not expire because power stones are random. But their active duty was to find out who made the power stones. You know. So I'll mention the other universe now, or the other reality version of it. So the other side of the mirror had Randall? No, had Ron the Wizard. So the other side of the mirror was the one that was everything was successful. So no dragon. Holosi was intact. Ron was alive. Oh yeah, Jake ended up getting separated from him in that lich fight though. Ron thought the spell wore out. Specifically with or the immortality thing from the rock. He thought it wore out, so Jake died and got evaporated with the lich. But instead, Jake was sent to the other reality. Kind of Project Pathway style, really. That was before Project Pathway was a thing, but I'm going to retcon that right now to be Project Pathway. So the group had to help him find Ron, but he didn't exist. But they also knew Ron talked to Elrond using the mirror, because Elrond found the mirror. So, but they decided to take a trip to the alternate universe to see what was going on. The only thing I remember is that instead of Leon just killing their brother and then escaping, they just blew themselves up with the castle in that universe. I mean, I did that. They didn't choose that. I did that, but I thought it was interesting. They were like, hey, let's go terrorist mode. So that'll send the message. What else was there? I think Jack died in the process of getting poached from his tribe. Not a lot of good things. some people just didn't matter, and obviously somewhere out there the people, and this was 450 years after the first campaign, but some of the people from the first campaign would have been walking around there, like Tucker's character, who was a vampire, would still be alive as long as he was actively avoiding sunlight. I think we made a joke that he was still around. I think 90% sure Tucker's original character was named Dylan Smithy, or it was a pun on Matt Smith's name because we never changed it from another person. I let him borrow a character sheet and he just kept it. Anyways, what else was there? Getting a little tired. We have been live streaming for 2 hours, but yeah, like that was the early days of stuff like that. So anything else I'm forgetting? I think Shaman joined in too, and he had like a dad that was a gold dragon, but then we just left that whole plot point after he left because he was a gold dragonborn and his dad was a gold dragon and just showed up one day, and then I think they beat him. So there's just a dragon corpse outside of town of Gravelstone for a bit, but then everyone just forgot about it, so we just forgot about it too. Just kind of retconned it out at that point. He kind of left because he just didn't like playing online, which that's fine. Like he didn't like wasn't pissed about it. He was just acting like, I prefer if we played in person. This ain't really for me. I was like, okay, that's cool, that's fine. Anything else though? I think there might have been one more person. I've scrolled up to the top of the D&D chat before, and I thought I've straight up seen someone else that we had that just left one day. And I don't know I don't remember who it was, but anyways, that we just disconnected them from the, or kicked them out of it. Not to be rude, but like they just weren't active in the Discord anymore. So I just was like, meh, kick out. What else is there though? I guess that's it. That's everything that happened before Hindering Spirits. Like that's it. You know, that provides all the background y'all need. I finally did it, even if I've already done it before. It's just nice to bring it back up again. Leon, are you the one in the chat, or is it Leo? Because we had two for a bit, and now I think I don't know who it is. Let me pull up my document. Because I was going to ask you if you knew anything else, but I'm going to pull up my document. Tony the Burbalang was in the original campaign. Misty actually played a one-shot. I remember one of Misty's characters. That was who she played as. She played as her warlock. No, this was in a one-shot. She played as a warlock to where I gave her a Burbalang ally named Tony the Burbalang. Let's make it canon that that's the same one in Hindering Spirits, because straight up that kicks ass. So Misty has a warlock in Hindering Spirits, I guess, running around, and Tony just doesn't work for her anymore. I mean, he kind of just showed up because they could plane shift if she needed help because she was soloing stuff. So I guess that's interesting. But anyways, it was Tony, so, and that's where I reused it. So, oh yeah, there was a snow creature in one of the snow continents they visited. That just was this big puffball that was like a yeti, no face except peering red eyes and wings. And they casted this spell that was like a hut spell. I don't remember which one it was, but snow covered it, and this creature was just climbing, looking in, and tried breaking in, and they had to like, ooh, that thing was like, I ran that pretty terrifying. That made me want to run Icewind Dale for so long because of how well that one went. But what else is there? Yeah, there's Chunga. Yeah, this is literally written as Nameless Power Stone Gatherer for the Thanos dude. Oh, there's Kralt. They fought an ancient mummy, and Leon had one of those arcane pistols that I mentioned. They're Vorpal, so on a nat 20 it insta-kills anything. Except here's the thing, unlike Vorpal swords, these things disintegrate anything they roll a nat 20 on. Round 2 of the fight, Leon just fucking disintegrates Kralt. Not mad about it. It was just like, really? I can't say no, but like, fuck. So that was awkward. But it happens. So we moved on after that. What else is there? Oh, yeah, shit. I forgot about the giant Mecha Tarrasque. Okay, it wasn't a Mecha Tarrasque, but they. Okay, so a random creature got awoken. I don't remember how it happened. I don't think the party did it, but the party might have did it. Oh yeah, there was this cave full of quartz, and the reason it was a cave full of quartz is because these ancient heroes sealed up what is known as the Mega Basilisk, which I'm actually gonna make sure is on this document. Okay, Mega Basilisk is on here. These ancient heroes sealed this thing up, and Ethan or Jack, it was one of them, because of course it was one of them, got mad and punched a quartz and broke it, which, by the way, it was the rules of Medusa. If Medusa looks at her own shadow or herself in a mirror, it turns her to stone. But if the mirror is broken in this, the Mega Basilisk, it was just a giant basilisk, broke free and started roaming the lands. It swam across, got to the main continent. So everyone's actively trying to figure out what to do, and they learned of an ancient story that there was this Tarrasque that roamed the land, just randomly got killed in the desert. So there was these three pieces to a totem. If you built it, you can control the Tarrasque. So they found the skeleton. That was the other thing they had to do. And they had Elrond find this cult that was dedicated to the Tarrasque. The cult wanted control of the Tarrasque, but they just ended up getting rid of the cult. They worked with it to get what they needed to get done, and then afterwards they were like, "Yeah, you're done." So they got the totem, which they just put Jack in a cart and let him control a giant Tarrasque. But the only problem was they got they worked tirelessly, like sanding off, getting all the sand away from this, uncovering this giant skeleton of this ancient Tarrasque, and they plated the eyes shut. They had to, because basilisk stone, like they'll be turned to stone, and they had like a giant kaiju fight of just a metal plated Tarrasque that reformed all the skin once the totem was reformed, and when it broke, it just dropped back down as a skeleton. And they fought a giant basilisk as a Tarrasque, and obviously, I mean, they won in the end, but it was just, I thought that was a really interesting quest line. Uh, oh, they did go and kill the dragon. They killed the red dragon. I mentioned that burned Pelosi down because it lived in the bad ending, uh, and it flew back to its horde. 450 years later, it's still around, and Tucker wanted to get revenge because the story though is he thought it killed his relative, but in reality he went to a different reality because he fucked up. So they hired assassins, or they went and found some that they asked help from, and they had JoJo's Bizarre Adventure stands, and I finally watched part 4. So one of them had the Emperor, and the other one had the Hand. I don't remember the rest of them, as they don't matter, because they all died. Only the one that had the Hand, which was just as dumb as Okuyasu, lived. But Jack had this Vorpal sword, and here's what happened. Everyone was down on the ground panicking as they're dying in this old dwarven forest that this dragon had overtaken, and they're all about to die. And this Okuyasu guy literally just goes, Vorpal sword, picks Jack's Vorpal sword up, uses the Hand, which is the stand, to jump up in the air. I rolled a nat 20. I genuinely rolled a nat 20 and cut the dragon's head off. It was so great. I think Leon also switched to a monk during this campaign right after, because I think their character, I rolled a nat 20 with a Cyberman and killed him, and they were like, yeah, you know what, that death is so humiliating, I'm making a new character. Also, I might have fudged the nat 20 not thinking about it, and then I was like, oh shit, I can't go back now. Ugh. You know, I didn't think they'd die, but then they died, and I was like, uh-oh. I used Cyberman stats to, because a random ass guy showed up to try and kill the party, and it worked for one member, and then it was a monk or something else. I don't remember what specifically it was, but it didn't last long because that was near the end of the campaign. But still a good character though. I just don't remember what specifically it was. Who else do we have? Who else do we have? Not trying to be super quiet, but I'm just trying to see what else we got. Hmm. Look at this point. Oh, hold on. So the other ones I've ran, the only other campaigns things I've ran, I'm going to summarize this quickly. There's a Dragon Ball campaign I run now. There's a campaign 3 in the works. It's going to be about multiversal stuff, and it's not going to be live streamed. Because everyone just wants to be chilled out with that. They asked me to run a Fantasy High styled thing where I use it to test homebrew, and the Time Lord is the history teacher. That's the whole joke. It's their homeroom teacher, but there's other classes too they go to. And there's stuff like a guy there was a classmate they had who became like an evil guy who was invested in technology but also living for a long time, so he became the Necromancer. He's actually the guy. When he died, he got sent to a domain of dread and grew up to be an adult, so that's who they see in Hindering Spirits when Jack gets sent into a weird reality. They get sent to his domain of dread, multiversal stuff. In Fantasy High, I let Jack pilot the Time Lord's TARDIS because I thought that'd be neat as a learning experience, and Jack happened to roll high enough to go to the original campaign world, and they had to have Elebron help fix the console. They landed in the lake outside of the town. That was funny. What else is there? Oh yeah, the Time Lord has this little robot named Bob. Bob is fun. He just is mute, just pulls out a knife at random. Oh, I want to mention a couple things I put in there, just a couple. So one, I used custom stands. Jack has one called Slapjack. It's just 2 arms that slap people. Tucker has one called... they're all kind of poker themed, or card game themed, like that. Gambling themed, that's what they're all based around. Tucker has one that gives coins, up to 20 coins. He can track people holding the coins, and he can use it to fake pay people. And also just materialize them. What else is there? He can unmaterialize them, though, as well, at any distance. Haven has one that creates just a house, because they're homeless. Jack has one that... oh, I already mentioned Slapjack. Ethan has one... I don't remember Ethan's, and I don't remember Leon's. Not to be rude, it's just been a while. But they're neat. They're all neat. What else is there, though? So, they met a scientist dude on a school field trip. They went on multiple school field trips. One of them, they went to a glass cylinder factory, and there's a campaign, or no, it's the Tylon one-shot, where they find these glass cylinders, and no one picked up that they were the same thing from the Fantasy Eye one-shot, or not one-shot, campaign that they make me run. Or they asked me kindly to run. They didn't make me do anything, you know what I mean? So what else is there? But anyways, Nicholas Burnbrass, the 34th. He's a scientist who's obsessed with the clone spell, so he's obsessed with never dying to continue his work on genetics. One day, they go to his genetics lab. This is the first time they ever met him. He's just a wacky dude and happened just to know the history teacher. Which that's the name. Instead of saying the doctor, he doesn't actually have a true name, so he's just the history teacher. But anyways, as I was saying though, what ended up happening is this random snake or something, they weren't sure, they didn't roll high enough on perception, just kills him immediately and just fucking stabs him. Nicholas Burnbrass the 34th, to which he just immediately comes out of a jar, because that's how clone works. And he just walks up and is just like, what the fuck just did that? So they go on an active hunt, and they just start noticing multiple blocks, city blocks, are just empty now. Basically, I was homebrewing for Dragon Ball campaign, I was homebrewing Cell, and that was really, really climactic, like, and dramatic, and it was really well done, I feel, the lead up for that. And they met Nicholas Burnbrass the 35th. I love that name. Nicholas Burnbrass the 35th was the Cell. Wait, no. They made Cell. Or no, Nicholas Burnbrass the 34th made Cell, right? Did not have his own genetics in there. Or a bio-android, like Cell. To which the party goes, Tucker goes, let's make another one to fight the first one. So they go to the moon in the past. I'm not kidding. With the TARDIS thing. Genetically modify, make another one. Have Jack sit there until it's ready, which they like freeze him in time until it would be ready, which Jack wakes up and just finds staring at him. And that one had the genetics of Nicholas Burnbrass. So it's Nicholas Burnbrass, the 35th. Anyways, they fight. Nicholas Burnbrass, 35th, goes perfect and just says, I'll be back, and flies away. Fucking legend. Anyways, which makes the one that came out of jar, Nicholas Burnbrass, the 36th. Wait, no, the 34th was the one that came out of the jar. Then they went and made the 35th, which is the cell. It's so complicated, but it's so funny. That's just something funny they did. It's funny. To me, it's funny. That's all that matters. Nicholas Burnbrass, 35th, will come back one day. Mark my words. Probably not, but you know what I mean. What was I going for, though? There was a one-shot I did that no one knows about on, like, stream, because, I mean, everyone knows about it. That's part of the group. That was Koala Island. There's this thing that's been going on for a while that a lot of random multiversal things are in Elebron's snow globes, which are actual worlds that, like, just play on infinite repeat, that he actually goes and visits in them, too. This one was a shipwreck island with radiation, because I was also testing radiation. I had one time in the first campaign, the campaign 1 that they call it, where they found like a box full of toxic waste, and I let them try a couple mutation table rolls. I think Jack got the same one he got in Hindering Spirits. Anyways, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, Koala Island. It was just a battle royale where I actually have the map somewhere still to this day. The reason it's called Koala Island, though, because it didn't have a name at first. Ethan tamed 30 koalas that were just sitting there menacingly chomping bamboo. And they just followed him after that. He rolled high enough on animal handling that I just let it happen. It was just a joke campaign, but it was also a battle royale. No, they didn't help him in the fight. But yeah, it's just revealed that at the end of it, there was just a ship crash, and it just played on repeat infinitely. It's just like a little it was a one-shot. Anyways, there's one more thing, I think, besides the one-shots that are on YouTube, and then I'm done for the night. I'm going to bed because I'm tired. I had a long day. I had Isaac, or me and Isaac drove over to Misty's, or Isaac drove me over to Misty's, and we played some Magic. We tested a couple decks. Which, that's the first time Misty's had someone over at her house that isn't me in a, like, long time. So, like, I mean, years. So that's fun. Before we started dating. Years before that, too. So that was interesting. We had fun. But, anyways. What was I saying, though? The one other thing that I've ran is, for this group, is I made a version of Dead by Daylight the entire game, because I've made my own homebrew, like, systems before, but now that I'm experienced, and like I did with the Dragon Ball Z D&D campaign, which we play tomorrow, and by the way, we're on, like, session 18, and everyone's having fun. Not 18, we're on, like, session 9, no, 12, probably. Everyone's having fun, though. I have heard very little critiques about me specifically, except for a little bit in the beginning, but I immediately fixed that, and said player that had those critiques has had no problem since. There's been critiques about a certain specific player, though, but those have been kind of... No offense to that player, because I know they might be listening right now. I've tried to help. It's just complicated. It's not my fault. That's all I gotta say at the end of the day. Anyways, getting off that subject. I homebrewed Dead by Daylight. What I did was I took villains that they had fought in campaigns. I made a full list of every... I have a list of every NPC they've ever talked to that's been named. That's not in the Dragon Ball campaign, because I have another document that details all that. And I took a list of every player character, except for the Dragon Ball campaign, that they've ever played as in a campaign that I've ran for them. And I individually gave them their own unique perk, because every character has their own unique perk, and then they have a shareable perk. Unlike Dead by Daylight, that just makes all survivors the normal set, you know. Sure, they have unique perks, but then again, nothing's unique about survivors at the end of the day. I know sound and looks, but you know what I mean statistically wise. None of them run faster than each other unless you, like... But killers, though, same thing. So each killer has their own perk and base power to kill people, and then each killer has their own shareable perk. I will never release this, but I might show a little bit of it on stream sometime. But I have full, like, every character on there. Also, that's canonically for... I'm going to say it here... For Hindering Spirits, when Jack detonated a bomb that did, like, the whole Laquemata, I think is what the group name was called, the terrorist group that fucking blew up the castle, and Trelsh was a giant demon. The canonical place Trelsh ended up was that Dead by Daylight realm, because the whole joke is that Elrond was sleeping, And while Elrond was sleeping, Jack Racker was like, let's mess with his dreams a little bit. And now there's like a Dead by Daylight realm, but that's actually where Trelsh ended up. But he's the only one that's actually supposed to be there. But yeah, like it's just really fun. Tucker thought it was really broken, like on the killer side, and there was no way to win, and he was the only one playing with Haven. To which Tucker, I didn't think I'd have DCing like actual Dead by Daylight, but it's so accurate that Tucker DC'd mid game. To which Haven soloed it. Just saying, like that. I just find that funny still. That Tucker's like, this is bullshit, and Tucker wasn't losing. He didn't die either. He just was like, he looked over, looked in, and was just like, yeah, this is so killer side. There's no way to win. And then Haven immediately soloed it that game. Also, Haven is good at coding. They literally made a map making software for the game. I didn't. I was supposed to give them maps, like pre-built maps, kind of like Dead by Daylight, but I never ended up doing that. I feel bad for not doing it, and I need to go back and do it one day. But it's just kind of like a dead project at this point. But I'm gonna go tweak it up a little bit because I added items one day finally. I need to go do and tweak it again, and I think, you know what, straight up, you know what, I think I could run this on stream occasionally. I would be proud to run it on stream. You know, I would actually be. I worked on it hard. You know, it's just a neat little thing. Some of the jokes might not be understood because some of the characters from like campaign 1, but I've explained all of them now, so that makes sense. There's not any that are on there that don't make sense now. Then there was also the fact that, like, sure, it's its own thing. I think I could run it on stream. I think it'd be neat. Anyone who would like to play it on like stream, like if you're in the group and you're hearing this, let me know. Because I'll add some stuff. If you want me to add stuff from Dragon Ball campaign, I'd prefer not to because there's so much. But I can add stuff from like campaign 3 when stuff happens in it. You know. So that'll be fun. I hope I haven't been too loud. It is 2 a.m. and I'm trying not to wake anyone up. Actually, it's like 2:30. I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. But that's everything I've done, everything I've made. And yeah, let me think if there's anything else real quick. No, that's really it for this group. Like, I just over the time, and then Hindering Spirits, which is just all watchable on YouTube, so I don't have to go into any explanation on that. So, by the way, I've tried to make it very vague whether or not Hindering Spirits and Campaign 1 were just an Elrond Snow Globe. I don't know. Maybe it will be, maybe it won't. Maybe you should read the book I'm making that has all my DM notes for Hindering Spirits, just translated into a book. Maybe the answer will be there. Maybe there'll be some Easter eggs there. Maybe check it out whenever I get it finished, if I ever do get it finished. So, you know, maybe I'm just talking out my ass right now and I just never get done finishing it. I just have to translate a lot of quests, stat blocks, and stuff, and I'm done. And then rework the Dungeon of Death a little bit, because some of the puzzles were broken whenever the players got to them, so I don't know. Alright, well, I hope you all have a good night and or day, depending on what time you watch this video, if you're watching on YouTube, and if you tune into Twitch, thank you, and just have a good time, just in general. And again, thank you for showing up if you did. Again, you're watching this for some reason if you are, so I thank you for sticking through it all. So you all have a good night, and I will see you guys in the next one. And if I did forget anything D&D related for the group, I will bring it up in the next one once someone brings it up. That's everything. Good night.